haven't joined our Discord, are you living under a rock? Where are you? Because we need you to. Yeah, we all know that you live under a rock. But if you haven't joined our Discord, please go ahead and join our Discord. We have a great community there. We have lots of different games going on between one-shots that you can play with various people on our channel and a constant play-by-post thing that happens on there. We have a Patreon if you'd like to support our channel and help us improve things like get a better dice camera that you've been asking for ages.
Please.
Besides that, I have a couple updates. Mongoose Publishing wanted me to mention that they are about to start shipping their robot handbook that recently came out. And they also have a different version of what we're playing today, Traveler, that takes place in 2300 AD, that is in stock and shipping now. Besides that, for those of you that do play D&D, you've probably always wanted to do a D20 in damage. If you'd like to do a D20 in damage, pretty soon Mithril Armory will be having a Kickstarter where they have their Morning Star dice that has a D20 that has a bunch of spikes on it. So you could throw that at somebody and do a D20 damage, which is what we all truly want. So keep your eye out for their Kickstarter. Now I'm going to hand it over to Lex, our referee for today's game.
Thank you, Ian. This is going to be a heck of a session. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Traveler, this is a game system that it's had many additions over the years. We're going to be playing with Mongoose Traveler, which is a system that I have actually been playing for years and really enjoy. This is the second edition. It's a great time. It is the kind of game that you're going to want to pick up if you like the vibe of shows like The Expanse, Firefly, Cowboy Bebop, pretty much anything where you've got kind of a ragtag band of heroes getting together on a ship and going places and having adventures that border like from the absurd to the precarious to the horrifying to the just good old sci-fi romp. The game is a 2d6 style system and uses pretty much d6s for every roll, sometimes more than 2, depending on whether or not you're talking about damage or boons and banes, but we'll get into all of that as the game goes on. So today we have a bit of a 2-shot planned for you guys. So this is part 1 of the game, In the Shadow of Triumph. And as an additional bit of fun, I have a Foundry server set up for this game because I am playing remotely. I needed a way to interact with everybody. And because of that, we are going to get to use the game board, I believe, for the first time today. Is that correct, you guys?
It's the first time. Yeah, I'm super excited to use it.
Yeah, so the game board that they've got in front of them over there is, I believe, what we will...
Mm-hmm.
is going to work. The game board's a cool little bit of tech, though, where it's got a touch screen on it. You can move tokens on it. It has the ability to be compatible with things like Foundry and other virtual tabletop simulators. I actually don't have the full list in front of me. I don't know which all ones it can do. I don't know if you guys do, but it's...
We don't, and we should mention that this is like our first time using it, so if it's a little clunky,
Yes.
It's probably because of us.
Probably us. Yeah. We have yet to unlock its full potential.
Yes.
Anyways, last notes before we get started today. Wanted to give a couple shout outs. First to Mongoose. Once again, the publishers of this game. They sent us a copy of the rules and a bunch of the supplemental books for the system, and we're really grateful for that. If you are listening out there, Mongoose, we really appreciate the support, and we hope that we can do the system justice. Also going to throw out a thank you to Jonas Carlson and Kevin Moore, who created the module that we'll be using today for Foundry, the 2d6 Cepheus and Traveler unofficial Foundry systems. Oh, and then a final shout out to my science fiction boyfriend, my partner, who helped me put together a lot of these images because I am not good at using GIMP, and he is. So, there you go. I think it started. And here we go. We, imagine us, are a camera watching this gas giant in a system far, far from Earth, a sector of the galaxy as of yet unexplored by humankind in our time, but well explored by the Imperium in the world of Traveler. And as we are here, staring out at this behemoth planet out in the void, there is a ripple in time-space. As a ship comes out of jump space to approach the planet. And hopefully, you guys can now see that ship on the game board and in front of you.
No,
The Triumph of Porfiria. It is a M-class subsidized cargo liner that is currently carrying a large chunk of cargo and passengers through the system. It has completed one of its jumps, a 7-day period of time that is spent in a sort of indefined hyperspace, allowing for the ships of man and alien alike to travel through space at faster than light speeds and actually be able to navigate our galaxy in its entirety and the various sectors. But in order to keep up a jump drive, you need fuel. And that is what they're going to this gas giant for. Ships come equipped with fuel scoops, essentially, that let them go into gas giants like this, scoop atmosphere, and turn it into fuel for the next jump onward. But they're not alone here, even though they think they are. Because hiding in the shadow of one of the moons of the gas giant is another ship, running dark and waiting. It is the Elegiac, the ship on which we find our heroes. As the Triumph slowly starts to approach the gas giant, the sensors on the Elegiac begin to signal that they have picked up something, that the ship is here, as expected, as you were all waiting for. And it is not long from wherever you happen to be on the ship that you hear the voice of the essential captain, because many ships like yours don't necessarily have a captain except in times of combat, but you do have a de facto leader in most circumstances. But you hear the voice of this leader calling everyone to the bridge to go over the plan one more time and get ready as your target approaches. Where are all of you aboard the Elegiac right now, and what are you doing? Who are you? And how did you find yourselves here on this essentially mercenary pirate vessel, waiting to rob this Imperial cargo liner of some of its goods? Ian, you want to start?
I'll start us. I'll be playing Werner Malik, an ex-Imperial officer that I'm not super keen on us raiding an Imperial vessel, but you'd find me in the engine room, probably smoking up a storm and blaming it on the engine. I tend to wear my space helmet, gotta keep make sure that I get the maximum.
You gotta get all of it out of there, yeah. Yeah, nicotine. Yeah, just nicotine. Yeah.
Yeah, just nicotine, for sure. With you in the engine room here today, by the by, is one of the ship's engineers, who you don't know as well as some of the others. You are crewmates, of course. You've been on missions together. But this is Hiroko Ripley, who is one of the ship's primary engineers, and a closer friend of Sergei than really anyone else, as they've known each other since before they were here serving on the Elegiac. But she's the one taking care of the engine right now and probably cursing you out a little bit, Werner, for smoking near the machine and probably making the whole environment worse since she actually has to be in here all the time. Meanwhile, Noah, whereabouts are you on the vessel?
Yeah, I'm Evan Miles, and I would be in my room working on my next book. The section that I'm currently working on would be my own biography. Would you like me to read it for you all? I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes. Yeah. As a boy, Evan Miles was always seen as a bright child, even among his very scholarly-oriented peers. He first began to show true promise after getting into college and went on to major in biology and minor in writing. It wasn't until he began his career in botany that the world really started to recognize his potential. However, there were those among his colleagues who saw his research as dangerous and radical. But he would not let them hold him back. Unlike many in his field who hoard the wealth of knowledge that they hold, he chose to give the fruits of his research to the world. And in doing so, his first book, The Leaves Speak to Me, became an overnight success, even back in Seoul. Others in his field sought to quiet his findings, but Van Mile, as his fans call him, could not be stopped from giving the true power of plants to the people. Now, 4 years after publishing his record-shattering book, he will embark on a journey to discover the true nature of his research and venture into what he has coined the final frontier. I don't think anybody's used that term before.
I'm sure they haven't. It sounds completely new and original.
Your leaves have been speaking to me lately too.
Or at least
I hope
old
you
enough
don't
to be in the
mind that
public
I've been
domain.
using your book to roll my cigarettes.
It's not ideal, but we all get to the truth in our own way.
Indeed, we do.
Yeah.
And how is it that getting to the truth has brought you to the Elegiac, this
Yeah.
pirate vessel, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, upon reaching a certain height of popularity, a man realizes that the world is bigger than his own scope and wishes to venture out. And I came into contact many years ago with a friendly man named Sergei that I figured he might wish to embark with me out on an adventure. And so I asked him whether or not he had the availability for me to come along with him. And this has nothing to do with my parents recently both passing away. So this is not a midlife crisis.
Not at all. Never. Not at all. And speaking of Sergei, who we've mentioned a couple of times now, Sergei, whereabouts are you on the Elegiac at this point in time?
You can find me in the hot seat. I'm going to be flying the Elegiac. My name is Sergei Mashnovskaya. I did a couple of terms as crew member in the Imperial Navy and then decided to move a little more entrepreneurial. That meant shipping with Monica and Hero here on the Elegiac. After a couple of years, we realized piracy doesn't have a great pension plan, so we're moving a little more gray market, I suppose you would say. See how this kicks out. In the meantime, brought along a old soldier and a loaded sucker, because there's always bunk room for one of those.
Absolutely.
Well, if we're killing things, we need a preacher on board to say. Yeah, I mean, we're on the Elegiac. We might as well say some eulogies, right?
That's
I think you're hitting those plants a bit hard there, Werner. I also appreciate everyone very cunningly and in-game correcting my pronunciation of a word that I've only read before. So, the Elegiac. All right. Elegiac?
Elegiac.
Elegiac. All right, well, the Elegiac. Everyone, you may remain where you are, essentially, Sergei, as the bridge is roughly in the same area that the hot seat is, as you so put it. And Monica Hardin, the captain of this vessel, is here with you. And she is looking out on the one view screen that you guys do currently have at the approach of the Triumph of Porfiria. A bit of a wry smile on her face as they approach, unaware entirely of your presence and the fate that's about to befall them. Not that it's a terrible fate. Monica doesn't really go in for those kinds of things. As you said, gray market. But the rest of you make your way up to the bridge, where it's time to have a quick refresher before you all get off to your duties. All right, everyone. Seems like the time has come. Let's go over the plan one more time to make sure that we're all on piece here. Get synced up for Werner, how much of that have you smoked?
Well, are you asking about this one or the one I had before it?
Are you mission ready?
I'm always
really all
mission
I care
ready.
about.
I mean,
All
this,
right, then.
takes the edge off. It helps me perform.
Oh. Yeah.
Also,
Just
doubles
Evan.
as a signature if you ever want to sell that.
It's probably worth something to someone somewhere.
I'll bear that in mind for the future. Remember, Werner, you've got operational command down there, so can't have you making too laid-back decisions if, things do happen to go pear-shaped. But anyways, looks like the Triumph's coming in just on schedule, which means that the rest of our intel is probably pretty solid at this point. The plan, one more time. We're going to be flying in as soon as they go in to start scooping fuel, catch them with their pants down, as it were. Let them know that we're here and we've got guns and they don't. And we just want this to be a nice, simple business transaction. We're looking for minimum to preferred no casualties here, everyone. I don't think I need to reiterate that with this crew, but just in case, throwing that out there. Of course, the stuff that we're after, not too expensive. Insurance is going to cover it. The good Union of Agriculture over on Florencia is going to get their supplies, and we're going to get a nice payday and some nice feelings for being the good guys again. Sound good to everybody?
Absolutely.
Sounds good.
All right. Werner, Evan, Sergey, and Hiroko head to the flyer. I have a feeling that you're going to be heading into that docking bay pretty quick here after I get them on the comms.
Aye, aye. All right, kids, lids on. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, Captain.
And remember, Sergey, careful flying. The cargo is apparently a little bit volatile from what we've heard.
Yeah, keeps them from running too fast.
Exactly. You all head down to one of the modular flyers that's connected into the, the Elegiac.
This is what happens when you let your players name their own ship.
This is what happens when I let the players name their own ship and no one says it to me first. But yes, you head down to the module flyer. You start to not quite get the engines heated up yet, because if you do that, you will be visible to the Triumph sensors as well, and you're still running quiet for the time being. And you all have a chance to prepare and gather yourselves and review what you know about this mission. It is, as Monica so put it, a feel-good and victimless crime that punches up more than it does anything else. The Agricultural Union on the planet of Florencia has been striking because they would like to have basically any rights. Better worker treatment, better payments, better plans in general. And unfortunately, the corporations that are in control on Florencia have not responded very well to their demands. In fact, they've been claiming back several of the various plants on the industrial plants on Florencia in order to, as they put it, reclaim stolen property, which is having the unfortunate side effect of eating into the strikers' supplies, including their supply of a particular substance called Ammonite J. It is a highly reformed version of ammonium nitrate, which is a component in fertilizers. And Ammonite J has some other elements in it as well that just helps the plants to grow faster and a bit out of their general cycles for increased productivity. The strikers had been using this in order to keep up their own food supplies during the strike, and unfortunately their plant on Florencia was seized recently, so you guys are bringing them in a new shipment in order to make sure that they can keep up the good work. The good anti-capitalist, anti-corporate work.
What was it a replacement for?
For their own. So on the planet, they do have a plant that lets them refine and produce ammonite J. But it's been recently seized by the corporations. They don't have access to it anymore. Thus, they can't make the fertilizer that will allow them to maintain their own food supplies through the strike.
I was more meaning chemical-wise. You said it was a nitrogen.
Oh, sorry. It's
nitrate?
ammonium nitrate.
So it's explosive?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Remember I said volatile.
Yeah.
So an ammonite J is more volatile and more explosive
Oh.
than standard ammonium nitrate. This is why you've got Evan coming with you on the mission, because his specialty does happen to be plants and agriculture.
Mhm.
So he will naturally know the proper methods of storage and maintenance of that storage during transport in order to ensure that there are no explosive consequences to mistakes. It's all stuff that's going to be pretty routine for you, Evan. But they needed to make sure that while you were getting it out of the cargo bay and back onto the ship, that everything was, properly cooled and properly shock absorbent to prevent anything from going wrong.
Yes, and I'm totally used to being shot at. Yes, that's something that I do quite often. Could you?
No, we're not getting shot at.
Wanna be
Remember, they're gonna have
shot at
surrendered by
when
then.
we have a bunch of
Yes.
explosive things around us in space.
Would you mind checking that my vac suit is on properly? Just double check.
Yeah, it's on. You would have died. You're good.
Thank you. Sorry. We can't have everything be our expertise.
I know you're religious and all, but I can't have you spacing yourself on this mission.
Well, you space yourself.
Let's
for
have
the
no
means.
spacing of anyone. That's my preference on the matter. Thanks for checking his suit. Hiroko is, again, one of the ship's engineers. She's coming along to make sure that when you guys are in the process of checking on all the cargo and getting it moved, that any of their adjoined doors are going to be properly sealed, just to make sure that, hypothetically, the Triumph will already have surrendered by this point. But there's no reason to take chances. We want the doors locked. We want everything safe. And, of course, Sergei is flying. As I mentioned earlier, Werner, you've got operational command just in case something does happen. You've got say on tactics for this particular mission. Also, you have big guns, so that helps. It's good for the intimidation side of things.
Well, that's what
Not
we're
playing
here
fire
for. Is
rate.
mostly if we can intimidate them out of fighting, we'll be in a better situation because, flying some slugs in the middle of space is not the best.
Not ideal.
No.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know,
No.
Sergei, with your Marine background. I see you brought lasers, the smart one.
Hard to find bullets out here. All right, everybody strapped in.
Yes.
Let's go.
Everyone's strapped in. First, the elegiac comes to life. The engine's roaring and getting you the initial distance around the moon to approach the Triumph, which is already starting to descend towards the atmosphere in order to scoop some of that good gas giant juice back into its engines. You guys listening in over the comms can hear as Monica hails them. Hello there, Triumph of Porfiria. Now, I know this is probably a bit surprising for you guys that we're showing up here, and that we do, as you can probably tell, have a few more guns than you guys, but don't worry. We are here for just an easy business exchange. We're just looking for a little bit of your cargo to see us on our way. Don't want to have any fights. Don't want to have anyone harmed. Just let our flyer come on into your cargo bay, grab a couple of boxes, and we'll be out of your hair within the hour. Sound good to everybody? I mean, your alternative is to, I guess, try to jump if you happen to have fuel for that, which I'm guessing you don't, being here. Or, I don't know, ramming speed with all those passengers? What do you say? There's a pause over the comms for a while. And then the reply comes in. You do indeed seem to have us at a disadvantage. Very well. We surrender to your terms. Don't want anyone getting hurt. Send in your people. We will yield some of our cargo as you've requested. So glad to hear it. The transmission goes just to you guys. All right, that's your cue. See you when you get back. Good hunting.
Thanks, Cap.
And that's why Monica's the leader. She knows what to do.
All right, Sergey, let's do this.
Everybody brace.
Sergey, you take hold of the controls,
Somebody strap it.
flare the engines.
Oh, yeah.
First, just impulse to get you properly away from the elegiac without doing any damage to it, any interference. Propulsion in the Traveler world is actually based off of artificial gravity, incidentally. And that's how most, essentially, any sublight engines are going to work. Makes it, it means that fuel does tend to come like a little more in for like the fueling all the electrical components than it does doing a full burn, so to speak. But that's what you guys are doing. And you begin your approach towards the Triumph.
All right, I'm going to flip open a comms channel. Triumph, this is Elegiac Shuttle. Open up your docking bay. Prepare for boarding. Just keep in mind, resistance will be frowned upon. We're here for your cargo, not your corpses. Be smart. You'll live to get robbed another day.
Understood. Elegiac, Flyer, yes, we are opening the docking bay and prepared for you to board to land. Yes, we don't want any trouble.
Werner, some of these guys get squirrely when they actually see the guns, so just keep it chill.
Understood.
Oh, that was just a...
okay.
That was to me.
Oh, to them.
Yeah.
Oh, Werner. Yeah.
Hiroko,
That's true.
Can you, as they open up, do you mind scanning just to see if there's any life forms present?
Yeah, there probably are going to be some, but hopefully it'll just be the usual crew doing their rounds. I don't think they're stupid enough to send just security down here for something like this. They can't have that many of them. But she begins to run the scan in any case. And you guys start heading in to the dock, bringing us to our first scene aboard the Triumph. And oh my gosh, do I hope this works. All right, so the game board will now have switched to dark, if I'm not much mistaken.
We're good.
I just have to close a couple tabs here.
All right.
Eventually,
Hiroko.
And now you guys should have some vision.
All right.
There we
There we go.
I'm just going to touch in with Monica real fast. Actual, this is Flyer. We have completed docking, preparing to disembark. Stand by.
Copy, Flyer. Glad to hear it's going smoothly.
Yeah, it's always
Keep me
smooth till it
posted.
ain't.
Yeah, that ain't the way. All right, good luck out there.
Ladies
Come
and
to
gentlemen.
land in the docking bay. Okay. Hiroko says, it's looking like we've got about 3 life forms in close proximity. A couple more on the rest of the ship, of course. Maybe 3 others that are waiting a little bit beyond. But we're already outnumbering them, so I think we'll be fine.
Sergey, do you mind going with me to show our guns to the 3 that happen to be on this level, and then once they see us and back down, we'll start loading the cargo.
Fair enough.
Ah,
All right. Gonna crack the doors.
I'll have my gun ready as soon
Yep.
as we pop it open.
Inside, the crewmen that are there, that are operating the control step away, their hands up. They do not look like security in the slightest. One of them appears to just be a general crewman. The other one is wearing a suit that's got a lot of like tool belt style attachments onto it, probably a mechanic of some kind here to just make sure that all of the moving parts of opening and closing a door went okay. And there's one other crewman that was handling some of the sensors on the other side. You should be able to see all of that, I think.
As soon as we get out there and they clearly surrender, I'd like to have us go up there and check them quick for any sort of weapons. And then the 2 that are not operating the door, I'd like to use my infinite rope, which is like this cock gun that you spurt out rope that hardens. I'd like to use that to tie the other 2 that aren't operating the door up.
Hey, we're not armed. We're not armed. We're just...
It's fine if you're not armed. So this will just make sure that we feel a little bit more comfortable, because if I feel comfortable, you're less likely to get shot. So it's like a win-win, really.
Yeah,
Couple minutes and we'll be out of your
absolutely. Hair. Yeah, absolutely. Win-win.
As he says that,
this stuff never gets out of your hair. So.
Oh, okay, good to know.
As he says that, I would like to actually start making my way off the flyer, and I would like to use my my stick as a walking stick as I'm coming down, to make a nice little dramatic entrance here, and say, "Pardon them, gentlefolk. They are but barbarians. We are just here to procure some of nature's plants."
Plants. I'd have to check the shipping manifest for plants. We have grains. We
anything
have,
that would contain ammonite J would be.
Oh,
yeah.
the ammonite J. Yes, I know where that is. I can show you the way to the cargo hold with the ammonite J.
We'll leave the two tied up and have this one show us.
All right. So this one opens a door here and gestures for you to follow over in this direction. Now time to see if everyone can get through the doors.
Come on, door. Open door.
It should be working. If it's not, just let me know. You can...
There we go.
Well, okay.
And
just assume that my character went with you.
Should be able to get him through. I can also move characters if that
if you don't mind
just
keeping Werner, with his gun pointed to the back of...
Yeah, that's not what I wanted. Okay. Oh, whoops. I'll get him back in the scene.
Oh.
Come on. Stop that.
Sorry, that was me moving it while you were trying to move it. I think I have Werner.
All good. Yeah, you do. Okay.
Oh.
As you enter into this cargo chamber, you can see that there are many boxes already stacked up here, many crates, many parcels, and then out to the right over up top of the map, you can see that there are, this is one of the few places where there's actually windows to look out into the massive void of space. Currently, the windows are open. They probably do close during jump because the jump space appearance can be a little bit disorienting. Sometimes you look at it and you may feel a little bit weird in your stomach. But for all that, it's a lovely view out into the many stars and into the darkness. It's this door right over here. This is where we got the stuff. Is this all you're here for?
Well, is there anything else that you think we should be here for?
Oh well, no, not at all.
You're looking mighty swirly.
No, I don't have the manifest. It's just that ammonite J is not particularly expensive. As far as I know, it's not exactly a much desired commodity.
What else are you shipping?
Oh,
and I'll pull up the Gauss rifle and just poke him once.
I don't have the shipping manifest.
I'm sure
I don't
smart
know.
Man like you. Is it a man?
You can't really tell.
Okay.
They're wearing a full body.
The smart person like yourself probably knows a little bit about what's on the ship.
Well, I know that we are shipping a large number of textiles, and there's going to. I think that there's some smelted metal ore or ingots of some kind that might be on here. I promise you, I just operate the doors. I really don't know.
Do you know who does?
Well, one of the administrators, the captain, of course, would know. You guys are just here for the ammonite trade, though.
Criminals do what criminals do.
They do.
Curiosity does, yeah.
They open the door for you. You see that they have a key card, which they swipe and rather not swipe so much as just hold it up to a sensor and the door opens.
Right after he does that, can I proceed to poke him with a rifle again and snatch away the key card?
Absolutely, yeah. He's too terrified to do anything.
I will hand that to you, Evan.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. And I'll put it in my vac suit as though my vac suit is a suit jacket. I'll just I've lost Sergey on the map. I don't know where he went.
I for some reason I think I got moved into the cargo room.
Oh,
There we go.
You were locked in there.
All right. Yeah, I was just checking it
Don't know
out.
how you manage that.
It's
Yep,
three
it
fingers.
sure is
All
that
right.
stuff. Let's see. Do we have? Is there a terminal anywhere or a port where we could access ship's computer systems?
Yes, there is a terminal that's in the main docking area.
Werner.
Back where you tied up
Yeah.
those.
You want me to go check it out while you wrap up things here, Sergey?
Yeah. See if we can pull maybe a manifest. Also, see if you can find a list of the crew. I don't want any unpleasant surprises. I'm going to go ahead and also neural link over to Hiroko. All right. We have found the goods. Let me know when you're ready. Let's start getting this moving.
Yeah. Just need Evan to get in there and start scanning stuff. I'm on my way to help with some of the moving parts. Let's do this.
Sergey, I'm right behind you.
I'll head back to the computer terminal.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the meantime, you're heading back to the computer terminal that is back over in the main room. Well, actually... Oh, there's actually a computer terminal up. I'll just move you to here.
Oh, so he's already lying
and that's because
to
there's
us.
an airlock next to you there.
Okay.
It seems like a place for larger ships to be able to attach without docking, such that you can set up a bridge between the two of them and have people go back and forth across them.
Okay. I'd like to try to tap into the best of my ability and see if I can't get that manifest and crew log.
Alrighty. I think that's going to require a computers check.
I will do a computers check happily.
Now, let's see. So this is electronics electronics computers.
And then, would you like education?
So this is going to be a little bit on the harder side because the data is there's some security in place and whatnot. It could be education or it could be intelligence for either one of these, but it is going to be a difficult test, which means that you need to get over a 10 plus, rolling 2d6 plus your skill with computers plus the stat that the characteristic that you're using.
I'll take a nice long draw and kind of go ahead and go at it. I rolled a 6 and a 1 on the dice, which is a total of 7 plus 4.
It's 4, so 11. So that does succeed with an effect of 1. That means that it is an average success with no real drawbacks. So you're just looking for the crew manifest, is that correct?
I want to figure out what the crew members are looking like. Is there any sort of military or trained individuals that I should know about? And then also the cargo manifest that Sergey asked for.
Yes, so you guys did have access to the cargo manifest. Even prior to coming down to all of this, you might not have brought it with you, but Monica did have that. That was how you guys knew that they had the Ammonite J to begin with, was that you got that through some, less than on the up and up channels. And it's...
Yeah, great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, as for the crew manifest, you do find profiles for a couple of individuals. You find the manifest for Captain Theron DaCosta, who you heard on the radio earlier. They do have some military background, but has more in the merchant marines than anything else, and in general hasn't seen a lot of active duty. Still, has some experience. The security chief, Nessim Lantos, also has some background in the military, but has done his tour and seems to be happier working ship security than anything else. Those are the only folks aboard the ship that seem to have any sign of real background training. The only other file of note is that they do seem to have a ship's doctor who has done not work in the military necessarily, but some consulting work, and that's Dr. Taguchi Baranek.
All right, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's go ahead and make this quick though.
Yes.
Get to scanning.
All right. Speaking of that, Evan, you are with Hiroko inside of the cargo room. It seems to be stacked high with several of these large crates used for transporting a variety of goods. It's kind of just like, the catch-all crate. They fit nicely together, like better Tupperware than what Ian apparently has at home. It's a whole thing last time we were doing character creation.
I have a thing about not having Tupperware that doesn't match. It bothers me.
That's fair, actually. I understand that.
When I came home, Lauren had organized all of our Tupperware after that stream. I complained about it. Sorry.
Hero looks around. Okay, looks like they're keeping it all in pretty good condition, all locked in place.
Yeah.
You want to run a scan, see if all of the rest of it's up to code?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll run a scan, and should I roll anything for that, or?
Yes, this is going to be a electronics test with sensors.
Sensors, cool.
You have a +2.
And this is much more of a routine test. It's just going to be a 6+ in order to succeed this.
That was an 11.
Yeah.
An 11. So that is an effective 5. Easy. You're able to run some scans. You're even able to tap into some of the on the cargo box. They have their own little interface that is supposed to be indicating rough chemical levels and all of that stuff. And you do notice something a bit weird.
Yeah.
You know from your background in biology and plant biology specifically that Ammonite J does need to be kept at a pretty cool temperature in order to make sure that it doesn't reach high enough temperatures to start decaying and then spontaneously combusting.
Yeah.
Like things do. So it's not like a drastically cold temperature. In no way does it need to be kept at a freezing temperature. Just, 40s is roughly safe. Anything below that is overkill. The internal temperatures of these crates seems to be running much lower than that, several degrees below 0, which is a little bit odd. And even though there is a amount of the chemical that you're expecting to see, you're also, as you're looking through the scan, because you're being thorough in this case, there's a couple of other compounds that seem to be showing up that you weren't expecting. Some chemical compositions, some elements present that really shouldn't be here. It's a bit confusing.
Hiroko, does it seem as though the people on this ship are keeping it too cool?
Let me see. Whoa. That's a lot of electricity to be pouring into these just to keep them that cold.
Yeah, and there's some errant other chemicals within some of these.
It kind of looks like, and you think of it as she says it, it kind of looks like there might be some shielding in place in order to prevent a full scan of this from happening from the outside.
Well, I don't suppose it'd be the best idea to open this up for the first time on our ship. Maybe we should...
Maybe not.
Try...
Especially if it's something a bit more surprising than we were thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe this is Ammonite K and it needs to be kept colder.
Yes, that's a thing.
I think they call it Special K.
It's not a thing. She's just going down the alphabet, but in any case.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to open one of these up?
Are they kind of up on racks, or are they kind of just stacked together?
Most of them are stacked. There are about 4 that are accessible to you that you could open that don't have anything on top of them. That are just easily accessible.
Hey, Sergey, would you mind sending our friend in here, please?
Anyway, I'm just gonna grab the guy next to me. All right, you're up, kid.
What?
Pop him through
This
the
guy?
door. Yep,
Yeah.
just give him a
Oh,
quick
God.
shove through. All right, welcome to the big
Okay.
leagues.
What do you need?
Yeah, I listen. I'm not a very strong man. I will admit that. Would you mind opening up that crate for me?
Oh, I don't have the clearance for that. Sorry.
I'm giving
just
you
got
the
a
also,
failed
clearance.
promotion.
they took my key card. The
Yeah, I
the guy with the gun took it.
You need your key
Nope.
card to open it.
Well, I mean, I need my key card to show you that I don't have clearance to open it, because I'll put it on there and it will say I don't
Oh.
have clearance to open it.
Fantastic. Well, yes, you have been promoted. You are now clear to open this.
I'll try. He goes over to the box and starts to futz with it. You can tell that he probably doesn't have much of a background in electronics or hardware, other than operating those doors outside. Like,
Yeah.
security is not his thing.
Can I get like a? I don't know if this makes sense, but can I use like Streetwise to see if I feel like he knows if there's something else in here or if he's totally oblivious?
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that you could use Streetwise for sure. But you would probably have to come into the room rather than
Yeah.
hanging out over by
I mean,
the
I
door,
assume
okay?
that I would probably have followed him in.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and move your token on over in there.
I don't know if I know how to move my token.
Just.
Oh, I think I am in here.
No, you're right here.
Oh, I'm way far away.
Yeah, you were over at the terminal hacking into things.
Well, that I probably didn't get it anyways because that's a 6. So.
You really don't think that he could keep anything from you if he wanted to. He's a bit too scared for that. At 6, like this is routine. So you can tell he's jittery, I think, but you don't know necessarily if that's from guns or something else. Your gut says that the guy doesn't really know much.
So Evan, you think that we should open this here?
I think we should. Yes.
As this is happening, you guys, let's see. You're all looking at the crate. Sergey, you're happening to be glancing up and out of the window. That's that lovely upper wall that you can see up there on the screen. And as you do, you see something moving, which out in the void of space, a little disconcerting, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere. And what you see also doesn't look particularly friendly. It's another ship. And it is a destroyer of some shape. A military cruiser, though it looks far more advanced than anything you've seen in the past.
All right, I'm going to pull up Monica. It's getting crowded out there. Looks like we got some company.
What are you talking about? I can't see anything.
All right, if they're not popping up on scopes, they've got some kind of stealth. But nope, we got another ship,
boy.
and they're close enough for visible range. That's real close.
Checking visual. Oh boy.
All right.
Evasive maneuvers! You guys can see this ship starting to light up on the outside as projectiles begin to fly.
Sergey, what's going on out there?
It's always easy till it ain't. All right, we got another ship in the air. They are not playing nice. I'm going to turn to the crew member we have kind of shanghaied. Buddy, we're going to need to talk to a manager here. Go ahead and bump us up the chain.
Captain, here now.
Guys, we are taking some serious fire out of here. You need to get out of there. I don't know if we have to get out right now.
Hiroko.
That's an order. This situation is, she goes quiet, and outside of the ship, you guys see what looks almost like a sunrise, as bright and intense as a star coming into being just off the side of the ship. A nuclear weapon.
Was that my ship?
I'd say not anymore.
Did that just happen? Uro goes going over to the window to look. But as she does, the shields begin to come down, probably in order to protect the ship from radiation.
All right, guys. Things are getting real. Mask on.
Yeah.
Evan,
Sorry.
from where you're standing by the door, you can hear the tromp of boots.
Someone's coming. As I hear that, I would like to quickly try and actually get one of these things open.
Absolutely, yeah. Go ahead and make me an electronics computers check at a average test.
I'm going to turn to Werner. Werner, are your debt charges remote trigger?
Sorry, this is a standard mission. I didn't bring any remote charges. I got stun grenades. That's about it. And he'll pop out one and hand over a stun grenade.
That does nothing for me. I was hoping to install a little bit of a sore loser's clause here on one of these fuel containers.
Yeah.
Or fertilizer container. It all explodes in the end. All right, we'll figure something else out. Guys, we might want to get pointed towards the door here. I think the welcome just got a lot less warm.
Was that an education or an intellect that I would add to that?
Either one of them is appropriate in this case. It's something
Okay.
you could have learned or something you could.
So that would be a 9.
Okay. That is enough. That is an effective 1. So as this discussion is happening, Evan, you have managed to pop the lid on one of these to open it up. And inside, you find a person
That is not my specialty.
in what essentially looks like a cryopod.
This cargo's not right.
Yeah, that doesn't
Voice
look like
comes over the
fertilizer to
intercom.
me.
Not any fertilizer you
Voice
want to
comes
use.
over the intercom. Intruders. You're being ordered to stand down. This is the captain speaking. Our security escort will be in shortly to take you captive and bring you to their ship. Do not resist. You have no way out now that your ship has been destroyed. Your flyer lacks jump capabilities. You come with us, or, well, I suppose that will be up to the Shrike's captain.
Is this a two-way? Is there any way to communicate back?
Not from here. You'll probably need to go. You'll either need to grab the radio from your Shanghai friend, or go to one of the comms.
Oh, I'm just going to go snatch his radio. Try to get... Looking for the captain. It's the captain. You the... Nope. No. Yo.
He queues up the correct channel for at least the bridge.
Howdy. So it looks like our negotiation position has shifted a little bit. But at the end of the day here, we still have a lot of weaponry, and we are in a room with a lot of volatile cargo. So how about you don't take us captive, or we can all go to hell together?
I admire your bravado in this situation. However, would you not rather survive? There are many people aboard this ship, and you made it quite clear originally that you did not wish for there to be any loss of life.
My captain made
inclined-
that quite clear, and I'm currently unemployed.
Oh, ooh.
I see. There's a pause.
Are we bunkering up?
I have my orders. You are commanded to surrender. If you believe that you can destroy our ship using the cargo that you are near, then Apparently, you are free to try.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead
Goes
and
quiet.
just.
You
Sergey,
can see out the window.
I think
as well
it's
now.
time we go radio silent.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Shut it
think
down.
that we're gonna escape on this ship. The ship doesn't have enough fuel to jump. I really think that if we wanna stave off being captured, we need to book it.
Where
I'm
are we
only
getting?
Double time.
Yeah,
Ship out of
about
here.
that, Hiroko has gone over to the door to lock it, and she's pointing out the window, where you can now see that destroyer-class ship is moving up to dock with the Triumph
That is not
near
good.
that airlock that you were by earlier.
Are there any visible markings on this ship? Insignia we could determine allegiance.
It's hard to tell. It does look like an Imperial ship to your eyes, especially to those of you that have served with the Imperium at some point. And you can see a name on the side of it. It is the Shrike.
Do you think we should bunker up, boys and Hiroko?
Well, if we can't escape here, our best chance is to book it to the J drive and see if we can't set up some sort of a reaction that we can trigger that'll blow the sucker. At least that'll give us some leverage if we can take them out with us.
Especially because we don't appear to have very much actual Ammonite J here in this particular room.
No, I gather these individuals aren't very explosive.
Yeah, it's not fertilizer, it's human trafficking, which bummer on many fronts. I'm going to turn to our captive. Buddy, any other doors out of here?
Looks like his mind has overloaded slightly. He's staring into space, blinking rapidly. Doors? Yeah, there's the door that we came in, and there's the door there.
Let's try number 2.
And but yeah, do you want to open door number 2?
Let's open door number 2.
I'll grab our friend and kind of drag him along with us.
I would like to, before we leave, I would like to do a quick scan of the person in the cargo pod thing.
Mm-hmm. As the lids come open, they seem to kind of be coming to a little bit now.
Oh.
What kind of scan are you doing?
Let's start with a medical scan.
Oh, sure. You don't need to make a test for that. If you have a scanner, you can do that.
Yeah.
Their life signs seem to be at essentially cryo sleep levels, or they were at some point. When you opened up the pod, you triggered the cryo pod to start thawing them, essentially. It seems to be doing so quite well, quite better than a lot of the low transport that you would find on any passenger vessel where the passengers are put into stasis for the duration of travel. The individual appears to be at least healthy by anything that you can account for, adult male. He looks like this.
Man, we are just picking up hangers on right and left. All right, see if we can get him moving.
Yeah, I'm going to try and help him out of the cryopod.
As he comes to, he looks up at you with bleary eyes. Why didn't that work? Where am I?
It's time to go. Come on, time to go. You're on a ship.
On a ship?
Yes.
I was on a dig site. What ship?
It looks like you got
What am I
Shanghai.
wearing?
I can't answer all your questions at the moment. However...
Who are you?
Oh, well, I am Evan Miles. You may have heard of me.
Oh my gosh, you shouldn't have got him started. Now's not the time.
I started as a young boy.
Why does he have a gun? He's pointing over at Werner, and why does he have a gun pointing over at Sergei?
Oh,
The question is, why don't you have a gun?
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. We've run into some complications here. You appear to be in a more complicated circumstance than we are. In fact, we would just like to figure out what is going on and potentially how to help you, I suppose.
Okay. For sure. Yes. I. He's again having trouble processing. From what you can tell, he definitely was not here prior to anything else. Whatever he remembers, this is not going particularly well for him in terms of remembering things.
Are there any other containers that showed this same signature?
All of the containers in this room look to be the same. There are the 4 that are immediately available and openable. The rest are stacked in such a way that it would be a bit of a pain to open them.
But are they all running at 0 instead of 40?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, we have a serious problem here. But perhaps if we can get this one man to come with us, we can figure out a way to utilize him to resolve whatever issue is happening here.
We only have one chance. Grab him, let's bunker down, figure out a place that we can have a nice long chat with him safely.
Yeah. Sergei, what...
This might be the place to bunker down. I've seen schematics for starships like this, and out that way is just going to be connecting us to the rest of the passenger deck.
Hiroko, can you lock these doors and maybe kill the power to them, and we'll push as many of these pods up against them as possible?
I'm on it.
Let's...
You too. And I'll like butt the thing up against our other guy that works there to start moving pods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the 4 that you can open and crack without having some sort of large mechanical, you know how in Alien Ripley Man's one of those big walker things? Okay, so without one of those, you can't access most of these, but you can access 4 of them.
I'll go ahead and start popping them if you can. Can you start interrogating these guys?
Yeah, interrogate.
You're a better talker than the rest of us.
Yes, please go do your busy work.
I'm going to go ahead and flip back to the command channel, hit up the bridge, and just not even introduce it. So I'm going to walk you through my hypothesis here. You guys have some unionists engaging in a labor dispute, so you figured you'd just ship in your own scabs, right? Shanghai a couple guys, drop them on the planet.
I don't know who you think you're talking to here, but I'm the one in charge now. And is this you're just doing this on comms to your own headset, right?
Through the walkie that I
through the walkie.
snagged up the guy.
Werner, you think you recognize this voice?
Okay.
If you want to have any more discussions about the contents of that cargo hold, you can talk to me about it. But I assure you, whatever you think is going on here, it's a lot bigger than that. A lot bigger than you and your friends.
Do I put pieces together between the voice and...
Yeah, the more you hear him talk, the more you're convinced that this is, of course, Jackson Hames.
Okay, Jackson. Okay.
Who is?
Yeah. Who?
I rolled an 11 to see if I could start undoing some electronics on these other 4 pods.
Mm-hmm.
After I kind of hear that voice, I want to walk over to you, Sergei, and Sergei, it might be good if I chat to this one.
Knock yourself out. This guy sucks.
So, Jax, I thought you left the Imperial Army. What are you doing out here? Guarding a bunch of prisoners taken against their will. That doesn't seem like you.
Well, now, I know that voice had better not be a certain Werner Malik. Because Werner Malik left the army, so far as I heard, to go probably drink away his problems in some corner of the galaxy, where no one has to look at his face anymore and remember the things he did. So he couldn't happen to be on this particular ship, could he?
Says a guy that chastised me because I didn't care about life. Looks like you're in the slave trading business now.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. You don't know the half of what's going on here, but I can assure you, the work that I'm doing is going to save an order of magnitude more lives than you've managed to get killed. I know that's an impressive feat, all told. But don't you worry. Got it well in hand. No. Much as I'm loath to admit it, Werner, you're a sensible fellow. So let's not play a game of cat and mouse like I know you're planning to do here. Just give yourself up, and I'll explain everything. Sound all right to you?
So, Jax, how'd you like us to send some imagery of what you're transporting here out to the whole wide galaxy out there?
You're welcome to try that, Werner, but we are so far away from anyone that could be receiving that right now. And while we're going to be in jump space, I'm going to have 7 days to track you down before there's any chance that you could get a signal out of here. Your message is stuck with
I'll look
me.
over to Hiroko and are they jamming us? Can you tell?
Doesn't matter if they are. He's right, there's no one out here. In the Traveler world, communications can't travel as fast as light, and thus jump drives tend to be ships tend to be the thing that carry messages from place to place, with the exception of some intersystem relays. So,
yeah, sorry, I didn't know that. Yeah.
There was a chance that, like, you know, if there was another ship nearby, but there's almost definitely not.
All right, Jax. You've seen me in a lot of different situations. You know I can bite off more than the typical person. How about we talk this out? You come over here, maybe with one other person. I'll let you stay armed. We chat it out. You tell me what the heck is up going on in here. I almost slipped up.
It's so hard, I know.
You tell me what's going on in here. And if you can make this anything besides slavery, we'll talk about putting down our arms.
I think while this is going on, I'd like to go just around to our newly awakened companions and just, all right, welcome everyone. I know you're a little disoriented. I have no idea what's going on. Best I can tell, you've all been kidnapped. The people who did so are coming to re-kidnap you. So this would be the time to let me know if you have any skills that would be special right now, effective. I'm talking computers, electrician work, mechanical superpowers would be great. Just lay it on me. There are no wrong answers.
One of the individuals, this guy, love being able to just show the character artwork. Although it does say that game board isn't logged in anymore.
It popped right back out. We'll be right back in there. So you're welcome to keep going. I'll be there.
No, it's working.
Okay, so the fellow that this is the fellow that you're seeing, Alex, since you get to see him. He says, "Well, I am an accountant. I've been an accountant for a very long time, and I'm not sure that's going to help here.
But
All right, you guys, start moving
There's
these
not
boxes.
really another half of that situation.
well, you're about to get a career change into working a shovel, so you'll have 2 skills.
One of the others has staggered over to the corner. It's this younger individual, looks to be of some probably Pacific Island heritage of some kind. She says, hey, there's something over here.
Finally. Take that, accountant. And I just walk past him over.
What did you want me to do?
I have a more positive attitude. I don't know. And then I'm just going to...
Here, accountant, move the box there. And I'll have them start moving the boxes.
In this corner,
fortify.
there's not actually a box. But as you come over, it becomes clear to you that she's right. There is something here. It seems to be a hatch of some kind that is very, very well concealed into the floor.
All right. Superpowers. That's what I'm talking about.
Not superpowers, I'm afraid. Just good old-fashioned instincts, probably.
I'll take what I can get. All right. I'm going to move everybody around. Hiroko, looks like we might have at least one more place to run.
I'll take one more place to run. It seems like, from what I can tell on the outside of this, whoever's out there is doing their best right now to cut through. So, let's go to the other place.
So was I able to get some of these guys to move the cryopods up against the door?
As I said, they're really big. So, like, their boxes you might be able to shove, like, with a bunch of you. But yes, Hiroko has been, like, welding the doors, essentially, and messing with the electronics. You can absolutely, anything that is, not mag locked down in here, you should be able to push up aside. Bearing in mind, of course, that, like, you gotta be careful with not tamping stuff down in space.
Would I be able to, if I can't move the boxes, can I quickly stick one of my stun grenades up against the door, and then maybe, I don't know, use the cock or something, something
to make a
stick
trap
it?
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, to make
like
a trap.
Pull the pin and hold the lever down with the cock stuff up against the door, so when it opens,
I love that idea.
Goes off.
Let's see. I think that's going to be a explosives test.
That I can do.
Yeah, let's call that an average. You're looking for an 8+ explosives test, and this is going to probably be dexterity based, I'm thinking.
Ooh, dexterity based. I'm not great at that. But I know that I have explosives. I just don't know what I have in it.
While he's doing that,
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to break out my tools, make a mechanics check on this hatch, see if we can get it cracked.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good.
10.
10, you got it. So you have set up this stun grenade, wedged it in there good so that as soon as this door opens in any way, pressure is going to come off of that and it's going to pop open, leaving them with a nasty but not lethal surprise.
And for the mechanics check, all together we have an 11.
That's fantastic. You do have to do some shimmying around to get it unlocked, but it does seem to be a mechanical lock, so once you've managed to apply some of your handy-dandy tools, you do seem to be able to get it open. And you guys should be able to actually click on that and move to the next scene, if I am not much mistaken.
I'm going to go ahead and go first. Why not?
Whoa, it worked.
I disappeared.
We're going to the next scene. We're in the next scene.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
to the next scene. Here you are in the next scene. So you descend down these stairs. Can't go that way. There's a wall that way.
Oh, okay. I can't see where the walls are, so you'll have to move us.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Doop.
There we go. That makes
There
more
you
sense.
go. Yeah.
Oh, I was also going to try to get all of our newly unfrozen friends.
Oh yeah, they're coming with you.
Okay,
don't
good.
worry. They don't like the idea of being left behind. What are you doing about the poor guy that you grabbed earlier?
Oh, he's coming with us.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he's our new friend.
Okay.
Did you know, buddy? Not all pirates become pirates voluntarily.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
You got. There's
But,
so
it
much I
does
can't wait to
serve-
show you.
Oh, it rings kind
It's a
of
whole new world.
What is your name, friend?
You care about that? You're not just gonna like
No, we don't.
I do.
kill me?
I do. Don't worry about him. He has a much higher kill count than I do.
My name is Weber.
Weber.
Dahl Weber.
Dahl Weber.
Dahl D-A-L.
Dahl
Dahl
Weber.
Weber.
And where are you from?
I'm from Hyperion.
Hyperion. Wow.
You got any kids, Webs?
No kids.
Would you like to have kids?
I hadn't really thought about that. I'm doing my tours out here, and maintaining a family when you're on one of these things is really difficult, is what I hear from all of my friends on the subject.
Well, Webb, this is what we're trying to get at. You help us get out of here, and you'll live to do things like have kids. But if we don't get out of here,
I get it. Yeah.
You're probably gonna die with us. You saw something that you weren't supposed to see.
Yes.
And if we don't get out of here,
you're gonna go down with us, unfortunately. We did not intend for this to happen, I assure you. We did not know what that cargo was. This was your employer putting your life at risk without your knowledge.
Welcome to the crew, Webbs.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm bored of this. Hiroko, let's do a once around.
Yeah.
See if we got any more hatches here. Do you have a map? Do we know where these two other doors go? What's the story?
This isn't supposed to be here, from my understanding. It's absolutely not. I have no idea who's talking really loudly. There's a guy down here. He's asleep on a chair. It's this fellow over here.
Oh!
Whoa. There's a lot of you.
Yes, there
Right
is.
here.
And there's only one of you.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hi.
Do I recognize him from the crew manifest at all?
You might have gone past his name. You think he's one of the security guys?
Okay.
And what would your name be?
Name's Nicanor. Sorry, I'm Private Voss. Agent Voss?
Agent Voss.
What? Hang on. Specialist. I'm new. I don't know exactly how the security ranks work here yet.
That's fair, that's fair. Well, we're looking to get ourselves elsewhere in this ship, and unfortunately, we don't seem to have any ability to communicate with anybody else. So, would you help us along?
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
How'd you get down here, homie?
Real quick. Are you Van Mile?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Dude, your book changed my life.
Oh, wow. Well, you aren't alone. You are not alone in that.
That's amazing. How did you get on to be on the ship? And how'd you get to be down in our, in the hold down here? Like, no one's supposed to know about this.
Oh, well, I am on a special tour of space, and, It takes you in various places, but I am so lucky
Yeah, I heard that.
to have met you. Fate has brought me here. The plants have brought me here to you. Isn't that amazing?
It's super amazing.
Yes, yes. Well, perhaps they brought me here because you have a specific purpose to help me.
Yeah, man. What can I do? Like, oh, you need. So, I don't know who the rest of you folks are, except for I know Doll over there. Hey, Doll. Who are these guys? You're not supposed to be down here either, though, unless Yafe talked you into joining us or something like that.
Huh?
Doll is like staring at him like I.
Doll's part of the crew now.
What? Yes, I am part of their crew now. So I think I don't know if I can really join any other organizations right now. I don't know if that's allowed.
Yeah, but what was that organization? Run that by me one more time.
Oh, yeah, man. Don't worry about it. So, like, can't tell anyone, but you're with Van Miles, so I know that it's going to be okay. And as you're looking around this room, it starts to come into clarity as he's saying it. We're moving some goods on this ship that they don't know about.
Yeah, meet the goods.
What? No, man, like, this stuff down here is, like, pointing to, like, the various crates that are around. Like, there's some of the plant.
Ah?
Is down here, and stuff kind of on a similar level. Nothing as amazing, There's some tastes in here that aren't mine, but other people like them.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to be moving it, but Yafe's got this whole thing going where he's got it figured out. And as this discussion is happening, a door that you couldn't quite see before opens up, and someone comes through it. Who are you possibly talking to out there? You're not talking to yourself again. Oh my God, there's a lot of you.
Hello.
Howdy.
I imagine you might be
Nika,
Yafe?
who are they? I'm Kylan, but yeah, Kylan helps too. She makes sure that all the stuff down here is, going to be in the right place. So because apparently there's stuff that can happen with the weight on the ships, and if it's not stored in the right. Nika, just stop telling them things.
Kylan, we are 9 of your new closest friends. You can tell us anything you want.
Anything.
Okay, let's take a moment here to settle down. Probably.
Is Kylan
Figure out
armed?
what's going on. Kylan does not seem to be armed,
Okay.
from what you can tell. Oh, I don't think I put up pictures of Nika or Kylan.
Is Nika armed?
So, no, Kylan does not seem to be armed in any way.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
By this point, Hiroko has managed to properly re-secure the thing shut. Okay, unless... So you're telling me that nobody else knows about this? Nah, man. I mean, Yafe knows, but he's not going to tell anyone because that'd be bad.
Man, I don't even work here.
What else is down here? There's 2 options. We could all get along and you can help us out, We're of course friends of your hero over here. Or things can go poorly, and we just really want to be friends.
Right, well, I don't have a lot of friends, but...
Oh, you just made 9 more. You're doing great.
Sounds like... Here's the thing. I'm not an idiot, and if you start making a lot of noise down here, I think who's ever up there, if there are people up there, are probably going to notice. So...
Yes.
Yeah, let's quiet down, because we're supposed to do that. Get some of your food out, Kylan, because, we should greet them. And let's talk about what's happening on this ship, because I think it's a lot weirder than even I thought it was.
Can I check them over for like a transceiver or any sort of communications device?
It seems like Nika has one. Kylan also seems to have one, but it's not like the standard transceivers that Doll or the others seem to be equipped with. In fact, you don't recognize her face from the crew manifest at all.
Oh.
A tenuous peace seems to have been reached here. And after a little while, you all get to sitting around. The people that you pulled out of the cryopod seem to be very out of it. They've gone to slump up down against the walls and kind of stare and look around and take stock of the situation.
I'm going to do just kind of a quick tour.
Eventually, up top, you do hear the distinctive sound of a grenade going off, followed by some angry shouts, followed by the tromping of boots. For a period of time, there's a tense silence, but no one ever seems to go over to check the hatch.
Nice.
We might take a second and go ahead and go to break.
Time to get a break.
Sorry.
I have no way of receiving those notifications.
Yeah, it's no problem. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I hope that we picked a good time.
I think we did.
We'll take a 10-minute or so break, and we'll be back shortly.
All right.
Thanks,
See you guys soon.
Thanks, team.
Welcome back to Creative Crits. We are playing Traveler 2nd Edition by Mongoose. Before we get back into our very exciting game, I have some quick announcements as we did last time, because apparently we lost the very beginning of our stream.
We were trying to give you a little
No.
less, Ian. It was
It's our tech team trying to like cover up as much of me as possible.
yes,
So just to make your experience better.
just a little better. Yeah.
But yeah, so if you haven't checked out our Discord, please check out our Discord. It's a really awesome place. We have a Patreon if you like what you're seeing and you'd like to support us and help us make more of these streams. Check out our Patreon. Mongoose Publishing has just released a robot manual where you can build your own custom robots for the system that we're playing today.
Sounds so cool.
As well as an alternate version of it that takes place. My understanding, and this might be wrong, is just as Earth becomes a spacefaring race. So that's what the other module is about that they just released. And besides that, Mithril Armory is going to be having a Kickstarter here in the next couple days where they're releasing a set of dice, of these metal dice that they are called like the Morning Star dice, and they have a picture of the D20 out and it looks really cool. It's like a spiked, the D20 itself is round, but then it has a bunch of spikes so it lands on different sides. It looks really cool. I look like
forward to absolutely destroying every dice tower we have with that.
Yeah, it's the.
It's a
I
tower.
look forward to throwing it at you, Noah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just gonna have to get used to having like little holes in myself. Those sound really cool though.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
More of that. Oh, just bump my mic. Put it on me.
Well, I think that's the last of my announcements. So let's throw it over to you, Lex.
All right. So when last we left off, our little ragtag bunch of heroes and their growing new number of friends had managed to escape from a sticky situation in the cargo hold of the Triumph of Porfiria, where after watching their ship go up in a nuclear explosion through one of the windows, they have found themselves with what appear to be individuals who've been kidnapped for some kind of human trafficking. And now they found themselves in a smuggling compartment below the cargo space on the ship that it seems like even their adversaries might not know about. Having made two new friends in Nikanor and Kylan, they have a little bit of time now to discuss the situation and maybe try to get some answers to what's going on. As the adrenaline starts to come down, though, Werner, through the Neuralink computer that you have, that is you, right? That has the... Or no,
Yeah.
You've got the wafer jack. You have the computer. So, it would be then, I think, through... yes, it would be through Sergei's computer.
Well, it's just a comm. It's a neural comm.
Yeah, it's a comm.
Okay.
And it gives you a heads up that there is, it seems to be, after retuning it maybe a little bit, there's some encoded communications that seem to be happening around the ship now that might not be on the standard transceivers. And you think that there's a chance that with a little bit of attention to the comms, you might be able to crack into that and listen in on some of the intel that's going on around the Triumph right now.
I'm going to relay that information to Hero and Werner, and I mean, Miles, why not? Just see who has the highest skill taking a crack at this.
Yeah, who does want to take the electronics crack at this? It's electronics comms. I think that's Werner, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I can go ahead and take that. I don't know if I'm any better than you.
Oh, you got 0. Evan has
0 as well. Yep.
0 as well.
Oh, I have 1. So
You have 1? Oh, then it is you, Sergey.
all right.
Anyone else want to do this? Actually, you know what? I'm amazing at it. Never mind.
What about Hero?
Hero does have some electronics. For comms, though, she's got a 0. She's better at remote ops and sensors.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see how this goes. 7 plus 2. That's going to be a 9.
Fantastic. That's an effective 1. So you're going to be able to start listening in on some of these encoded conversations. You might not be able to respond, but that might be for the best if you're just planning to spy a little bit. What you hear seems to be a lot of chatter about where they might have escaped to, whether or not there were crew members aboard the ship in the standard security. So apparently whoever is on the Shrike is not necessarily under the same command as the standard security of the Triumph. But there's some questions about the loyalty of various crew members, since there are only 2 ways out of that hold, and apparently there's no indication of where exactly they went. So your disappearance has caused a little bit of a stir. You can also...
Oh, sorry. I'm also going to just take this opportunity to do a tour through whatever open doors of the rest of this space here, so that we can get a kind of a feel for this smuggler's hold.
Yes. So you do. You are showed that there is another door, a couple other doors over here, and over there. And of course, there's the one that Kylan came through.
All right.
Each of the holds is filled with a modest amount of what is probably more expensive materials, in the way of various psychoactives and probably other such substances. The more perishable ones do seem to have to be kept in similar containment units to what you saw in the upstairs cargo hold, though these ones are far too small to be holding a person. And if you scan them, it checks out a little bit more that they would just be holding materials that are perishable and need to be kept at cooler temperatures. As you talk to them a little bit more, you learn that Kylan and Nicanor are both part of a small, very small smuggling operation aboard the Triumph. It's been happening for a couple of years. Yafe, who is one of the other crew members, who is still up topside somewhere, is apparently in charge of it. Nika is newer, running security to make their job of moving stuff about and dealing with the shipping manifests a little bit easier. And Kylan handles a lot of the physics side of things, of where to place stuff, and the electronic side of things, of making sure all their cargo arrives in proper quality.
Mika, Kylan, I have some questions for you.
I imagine you do. So, we have some questions for you too, though. Are you the pirates that showed up earlier asking after some of that Ammonite J from upstairs?
We think of ourselves more as of redistributors of wealth.
I'm a pirate.
With a pirate on board.
Yeah, this redistributors of wealth and a pirate.
Yeah, we have to admit that they're the best at doing the thing we're trying to do.
Also, Kylan, turns out you're not the only one doing smuggling on here, and I'm going to gesture to our unfrozen friends.
That brings up what I wanted to ask about.
Yeah. They've got the grogginess that comes from having recently awakened from cryosleep, but they can at least talk now. And at least have a bit more of a coherent discussion, since it's been a couple of hours for them to sit with their own thoughts. What did you want to ask about, Werner?
Specifically, I wanted to first talk to Nicanor and Kylan. Do you know what's being stored directly above you currently? Are you...
From everything I've seen on the shipping manifest, it's Ammonite J. From what you're telling me, perhaps that's incorrect.
So you're saying your associate on the top side here doesn't know about what's in the rest of this cargo?
No, I doubt he would, man. He's he's got a mind for shipping like this kind of stuff, but if you're talking about shipping people, Yafe wouldn't do that. Neither me nor Kylan neither. No, none of us. No. That's messed up.
And does your captain know about what you're shipping?
But we're shipping down here? All of this?
Yes.
Heavens no. No, I imagine that the ever straight-laced captain, as I've so heard about her at least, probably wouldn't be very fond of that.
I would like to go over to the folks who came out of cryo and just kind of poll them on where they're from, if they're all from the same place or from different places.
It becomes immediately clear that they're all from very different places. So, and also like from different places, like originally, and we're at different places at different times.
I think I.
Connell
sorry.
is from Donegal, the same place that Sergei is from,
Okay.
incidentally. Ramen was out on a archaeological expedition on a frontier world that is still going by its like system name number because the planet hasn't even been named yet, as far as they know. Even though there's a chance of there being relics there of some kind. Dio responds in a very serious tone that she was in military academy, apparently, and does not remember anything that could have led her to coming here, and is very confused about the situation entirely. And Kadiga doesn't seem interested in saying much, but implies that she was a traveler of some kind herself on maybe a free trader.
Do they have?
She's also the only one that's wearing slightly bulkier. They're all wearing the same like white jumpsuit.
Okay.
That they seem to have been put in for terms of cryo. Kadiga seems to be wearing. It almost looks like armor, but it's definitely not protective enough. And it does look to be powered, a bit chunkier sort of suit.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Hero if she could do a scan on that, get a feel for what that's powering. If we've got strength augmentation or maybe a sensor suite, something that could be useful.
I'll give it my best, but
while they're doing that, I'd like to poke around this room and just see if there's any other weaponry that might be stored down here with all the illegal goods.
Yeah, is there weaponry? Probably if there is going to be the guns that Nika has, which are the standard sort of equipment that the security has been outfitted with. It is definitely not better than the weapons that you guys brought, though.
We'll take the ammo.
Is there more than one that Nika has?
Nika is equipped with an assault rifle and a stun stick.
Oh.
I will take his stun stick from him if he'll let me. And
I mean, if I don't turn that in at the end of the flight, then they're gonna have some questions about where it went.
We'll get it back to you, but right now it's kind of important that, these kidnapped people at least have a means.
Hey, I get it, man. If I say I lost it, they'll believe me.
I'm sure they'll believe. I will go ahead and hand the stun stick and another one of my stun grenades to Dio. Since
Dio. Yeah.
Since it sounds like they would know what to do with it.
I can definitely handle it at least.
Well,
wasn't done with basic training, mind you, but
do you mind guarding this hatch? I think a couple of you should always be watching it, because if they find us down here, I guarantee you're going back in those pods, and I don't want to know what they're planning on doing to all of you.
Speaking of which, Kylan, are there any other ways out of here?
Well, yes. There's an elevator, essentially, that goes up through more or less the entire ship. We have access to the elevator's tunnel, essentially, from down here. The elevator doesn't come all the way down to this level, but you can definitely make it up the shaft if you want to. Hypothetically, I suppose you could go into the passenger deck, though everyone would see you. Better to go all the way up to the jump drive, which is... Well, we have our own door secured up there because sometimes we also need ways to get out of here without people seeing us, specifically Nika and Yafe, considering that they need to be up on the ship sometimes. I don't really get out.
Might be worth a change of scenery.
It's not important.
Yeah, I think I'd like to express to Nika and Kylan that now that they've been made aware of, now that you all know about these individuals who are in cryo behind us, unfortunately that does put you in some risk as well. Just I know that you are taking an amount of risk just being smugglers, but this perhaps is a next degree, so you might want to be aware of that when taking any precautions moving forward.
Well, that's good to know. I suppose if I ever show my face, they can book me for 2 crimes instead of just the 1.
Yes.
Hey, guys? Hero kind of gathers you all. So, did a check of the armor. It's probably not armor. It's very advanced. And I don't really have knowledge in this area, but I think it might be kind of a inhibitor of some kind. Sort of a like a mental inhibitor. But
I turn to Connell. Superpowers. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I really don't. What?
Kadiga, come over here, please.
She stands up and trudges over. What?
What do you know of the suit you're wearing?
I know, because I've been trying to, that I can't take it off. And I know that my brain isn't working the way that it usually does.
Yes. Is that an exceptional way?
I also know that we seem to be on a ship of people that want us dead.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just hiding down here instead of doing something about it.
Yes.
Well,
this is what we call planning, Kadiga. It's something that we try and do before we take action.
Hiroko, what do you think it'd take to crack this?
Well, for starters, some knowledge of how it's wired into her nervous system, because I'm pretty sure if I try to tear it out now, it might break that pretty irreparably.
So I suppose she's stuck in it for now.
I think that there's probably some sort of terminal somewhere on this ship that has more information about these individuals. If we can gather some intel, I think that that's probably the best for figuring out what our situation is and how we can get out of it. I think it would also be good if we start making a plan on how we're actually going to get off this ship.
Yes, well,
He's right.
As I have been known to say, knowledge is power.
As this is said, you guys feel the telltale slight friction of gravity almost lessen on you, and then you drop back down a little more solidly to the ground. You've all felt this before with a slight fizz in the air. It's the feeling of the jump drive activating. Well, we're stuck on here for another 7 days, probably. Unless this ship has somehow managed to shorten that down, which I highly doubt. Maybe the little destroyer outside that we saw, but not this one.
Yeah.
So, there's that.
I would like to seek some guidance from my plant friend. I would like to ask Nika if he has any. I assume he does.
Yeah, man. Got my own supply. I didn't even take it out of the boxes.
Yeah.
That would make Yafe mad, and didn't want to do that.
I suppose that would be a problem, although the plant belongs to everyone, my dear boy.
Yeah, I know, but he said that we gotta make sure that the people where we're bringing it get some, and if I smoke all of it, then that won't work.
Yes.
Which, that makes sense.
Yes. I imagine you're not much of a... Well, you said you read my book, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was great. I was in a really bad place.
Yeah.
And then I read your book, and I found the plant, and I'm just happy. It's great.
Yeah. Well, Unfortunately, that's not its only use to make you happy. It also can show you the truth. May I have some?
Yeah, that's why I'm happy. But yeah, here, man, by all means.
Yeah, and then is there a place where I can go to be by myself?
Yeah, there's 2 side rooms. You can see there's some open doors in there, cleverly hidden into the wall.
Yeah. I would like to go into one of the side rooms.
Absolutely.
Hey, Miles, if that stuff actually works, why don't we try it on the Mind Powers lady?
What stuff?
She would have to consent.
What does it do?
It can show you the truth. That is all I can tell you. I have done much research into it, and it has at times told me things that no other thing could tell me. I will prepare it specially for you in order to make sure it does not inhibit your ability to function. This is something that I've been working on for a very long time and will be featured in my next book.
Okay. Sure. Not like I have anything else to do, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go into that other room to prepare this plant. See if I can get over there.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Badoop.
While they're planting it up, I would like to talk to Mikanor specifically about Yafe.
Yeah, Yafe.
Yeah, Yafe. Do they have a way to get these goods off the ship when they arrive at their destination? How do you get these goods off without being seen?
Oh, so we got a couple ways, but mainly while the unloading's happening, we can use the hatch at different times just to get the stuff up there, really careful like, and then move it on out. And it seems like, like sometimes I gotta mess with some of the admin stuff a little bit, but sometimes it just works out. It's really cool. Yafe says that, like, it's all taken care of, so.
How often does Yafe come down here and check on you?
I don't know, like, usually at least once a jump.
So we'll be expecting them soon?
Yeah, probably just to make sure that everything's going okay down here. And especially since you guys showed up and there was, like, a lot of excitement coming off of that, I bet he's going to come down pretty soon here.
Sounds good. And I'll wave over Dio and let them know that I'd like to have them waiting maybe behind the door or something like that. Just to, not to like stun the person, but to make sure that as they come in, there's someone behind them that can immediately keep them from running away and too early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I could go talk to him too, because like I've got my uniform. I could just head back up, like out through the jump drive room, and I'll probably be okay. There's like rarely ever anyone in there to start with for the beginning of the day, so it won't be weird.
Can you do that without letting anybody know that we're down here?
Yeah, I can just tell him that, like, I need to have a private word with him, and that means come down here.
Sounds good. Hop to it, kid.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, Nico will head out to go get Yafe.
Do we know where this hallway over here goes?
That is what goes to the elevator shaft.
Okay.
Which I still need to put to the door up, actually.
Or
the stairs, I should say.
Oh
no, it's there.
Would you like me to do any roll for my plant preparation?
For your what?
Plant preparation.
Your preparation
Yeah.
for the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. You've got some.
I would say a deception check If you can decept yourself into believing that it.
Is it deception or is it going to be science biology?
Hey,
I
will point out that I am an actual scientist, so there should be some basis that this does in some way do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that you should absolutely make a science biology or science science biology on here and other sciences. I see science too. Is that your science biology?
That should be my yeah, I think that should be my science biology.
So you can absolutely roll that, I think, to prepare the plant.
For
Unless you've got another name for it, I was just going with the plant.
It is the Van Miles plant, but I just refer to it as the plant because it would be weird to always say my name.
Yeah.
For our audience, Noah rolled up having a scientist for a couple of years, and then went over to a truther, which is like this religious leader.
Yes.
So that's his background.
I retired from science due to controversy, and I found my space on various networks, speaking the truth around the fact that this plant can tell us great things about the history and future of the universe. That was an 8 in total.
All right. So, you've prepared the plant before, so I think that this is definitely, it's not quite routine but because it's complicated, but it's still an average test, and that completes the average test.
Cool.
So you are good to go.
And basically my technique for
preparing it, what does it look like?
Okay, so for preparing it for this specific use, it's actually grinding it down and then diluting it in a lot of water so that it is a very, very small dose of it. Some might say a microdose. I've come up with that by myself. It will be featured in my next book. But yeah, I'll come back out with a very small little tincture of it that can either be put on the tongue or in the eye.
So as you come back out, you find that the people seem to be talking amongst themselves, and one of them does say the word telepath as you're walking up. Some of them seem to be arguing. They're having a little conversation. This little group of folks.
What? Why use that word? Who said telepath here?
I did. It's the fellow that you woke up first.
Yes.
I'm developing a theory about the situation with us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't entirely hold up, but it seems to me that as Sergei put it, superpowers.
Yes.
I've been experiencing some odd, what I thought were sensory hallucinations for a little while, which have seemed to increasingly feel less like hallucinations and more as though they are real. Kadiga seems to be indicating that she has abilities beyond what we've seen.
Yes.
Dio had an instinct about where the door was. I'm not exactly sure what's happening with Connell just yet, and he's
an accountant.
fairly certain. He seems fairly certain that there's nothing going on. That's because there isn't anything going on. I can't imagine that there is something going on. I'm an accountant.
You have to have superpowers to think that's interesting.
That's true. To be able to stand being an accountant, you do need superpowers.
I know you mean that as an insult, but I'm going to choose to take it as a compliment because...
Oh, it was a compliment. Totally.
To be fair, my accountant is fantastic. He counts all of the money I make from all of my books, and
that's why you're a pirate.
In any case, I believe that there could be something to this idea that they took us because we are psionic, I believe is the word. There's a lot of references to psychic abilities throughout history, and of course there are even members of the Imperium that as far as we know, do attend to people that express certain increased mental capabilities.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem unreasonable. It's confusing, though, that we would be being smuggled on what seems to be a civilian ship without being told about the situation. So that's about where I am in my hypothesis.
Can any of you sense where there's other humans without having to see them? For example, can any of you feel if anybody's upstairs and directly above us in the chamber, the storage chamber?
Ramen looks up and says, I think I can. I would be tempted to say that it's wishful thinking, but I'm going to choose to ignore that. That for now, I think that I can tell that there are people up there. Just 2 at the moment. Nearby.
You let me know if at any moment you feel like there's nobody up there, okay?
All right. Staking a lot on my word and my hypothesis there.
It's okay. Our lives are basically on the line.
Yeah.
So try hard.
Well, to be fair, we don't have many more options, but I think
it's better than trusting you when you get a feeling while on your plant.
Well, I think that was what I was about to bring up. A degree of my research that I was starting to go into did have to do with the connection between psychotropics and psionic abilities. I wasn't able to find a solid connection yet, but I do have a hypothesis that at least the use of low doses of psychotropics could help relax the user in order to have an untrained psionic person be able to tap into their psionic abilities a little bit. As I said, this is untested, but, this is enough of a clinical environment to see what happens, right?
Is it? There's
Verder looks around at all the boxes and that were basically in a cargo hold when you say scientific environment.
Yeah, clinical environment's Connell's having the same reaction. Is it actually scientific enough for that?
It is from me. The world is my lab.
There is a Bob Marley poster on the wall.
No, this is sci-fi, so it's got to be like...
No, Bob Marley is still popular.
Still popular.
Years into the future.
You're right. Bob Marley transcends all.
Yeah. No, as long as you're into some psychotropic drugs, Bob Marley's still there. Plants. Sorry, plants.
Plants.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will offer some of the tincture to each of them if they would like to take it. Obviously, I am still a scientist who believes in consent. So yes.
Very good. Very good. Ramen is willing to take it. Kadiga is willing to take it. Dio hesitates and then agrees. Connell is the one who seems to be a bit of the holdout. He seems
Connell, you should be fine. I take it all the time, and I just drop 3 drops into my mouth. Just take 1. It'll be fine.
That's why his eyes are always bloodshot.
Listen, it will not hurt your accounting abilities. I'm pretty sure nothing could do that.
Yes, well, I have a very low tolerance for alcohol, so I am just simply not sure if you've properly calculated the dosage.
Alcohol, I don't touch the stuff. This is pure. It is...
Fine. I've never been good at not succumbing to peer pressure, so you will take a bit of the
just 1 drop. It isn't
just 1 drop.
Yeah. Sergey, what's your take on all this?
3?
Yeah, we need all the help we can
1,
get.
2, 3, Sergey. What is your take? How many drops?
That's not really what I meant.
You're going to need every bit you can get, I think. My take is I'd like to take a quick trip up the lift, take a look at the jump drive floor.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do that?
Yes, and see if perhaps we've got more data terminals or other means to access ship systems up there.
Do you want
Other
company or do you got this?
If you want to tag along, let's go for it. Hero, you doing anything?
Guess not. Other than trying to figure out how to remove, however this suit is wired into Katiga's neurons, and that's really not my speed. So,
Let's see if we find something up there that might be helpful.
Yeah, now that she's left Kadiga, I'm actually going to take over looking into how the suit's wired into her.
yeah. Do you have any skill in that seems relevant to this?
I mean, I have medic, I have electronics, various electronics. What would other ones be? Biology, I suppose. I have veterinary training too, so you know.
It's probably veterinary. Yeah, that's it. That's it. No, that's the one.
That's the one. That's the one. You can make a check if you want to.
Okay.
I think probably this is going to be a medic check or a biology check, definitely with education as the
Yeah, I'm gonna do a medic check, mostly out of curiosity. I don't know that I'm competent enough to take it off of her, but just trying to figure out the functions of it, full functions of it. Yeah, that's
Right.
That's
You could have done
5,
better.
6, 7, 8. It's an 8.
That's pretty good.
8.
Okay, you got an 8?
Yeah.
So what you're able to determine with an 8 is definitively that you might be able to do more actual investigation to this if you had some proper medical equipment with you. With what you have right now, it's very hard to actually see what's going on.
I do have a +2 med kit.
I do as well.
That helps, but like you need kind of the diagnostics. Now, there probably is some equipment similar to that somewhere on this ship if you can get there.
All right. Well, in the meantime, let's take a look at this lift.
All right. Heading over to the lift, you determine that you can definitely
I'm making Doll come
climb
with us
up
also.
it. You're making what?
Doll come with us also.
Okay. Wouldn't you rather just, I don't know, take my uniform and call that good or something?
No, you see, Doll, we'll all die if we're caught. But if you stand out there and distract anybody if they come up, we have a chance of getting away.
Yeah, okay.
Just
sounds
know
good.
all of our lives could be in your hands.
Uh-huh. Yep.
You got it.
I'll do my best. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Mm-hmm. And with
up
that,
the ladder.
you're climbing up the ladder into the next scene. So yeah, if you click on the ladder, I believe it will take you to the next scene.
We're gonna take a quick tech break.
Okay, we're having some fun issues.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but we're gonna take a quick tech break.
Tech
Be
break.
right
We are so sorry for that quick little break for tech issues. I think we are back and we have everything ready to go, so I will throw it back over to Lex.
Alrighty, so you guys have now climbed up the hatch, which is essentially the elevator shaft, and all the way up to the FTL, the jump drive room, which does seem to also relate to some of the other engines. And as you hoped, there do seem to be several terminals in this room, probably linked up to different systems, and so that multiple people could be doing multiple things in here at once. At the moment, you don't see anyone present. Probably because jump was entered within the past hour or so it's very unlikely that anyone needs to be up here until the ship says that there's something wrong.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Looking around you, everything seems to be in good condition, and it appears that there are two doors, two hatches that lead down additional ladders that probably head to the passenger deck that has been aforementioned by Nika and Kylan. Probably from one of those is where you'll eventually see Nika return with Yafe, assuming that he does manage to get his attention.
I'll go ahead and hop on one of these terminals unless, sir, is there anything else you want me to do, or should I just tap in right here?
It's the best idea I got. Hiroko, anything occurring to you?
Well, we could certainly mess with a lot of their systems being here. Not that we should mess with the jump drive. We do that, and, well, we'll end up in the middle of space with no one actually knowing where we are, including ourselves, and then probably die out there after resorting to cannibalism. So let's avoid that one.
We'll make that plan B.
Yeah. But, there's a chance that from here we can do some stuff to the artificial gravity while we're in jump. Won't really change anything, but it could form a good distraction. Might even be able to mess with some of the ventilation, but kind of hard to say. Could definitely make the lights go out if we wanted to. Don't know if we want that either, though.
I think those are all great ideas, and gives me some great ideas of how we can maybe get that Cadisa up to the medical bay. But first I'd like to tap in and see what I can do in here. Am I capable of connecting my built-in computer into their network?
Absolutely. Yes,
so I would like to connect to their
DNIs.
network, and I would also like to search their network if there's a computer that has like a significant firewall or something like that that might have information on these passengers that's hidden from the rest of the network.
Okay. So you're going to need to, if you want to be able to access those higher level files in general, you're going to have to basically spoof admin access that only the captain and other senior officers would possess. And that is going to require a computer's test of at least 10. If you wanted to do it without leaving any trace behind, that would probably have to go up to at least a 12, though. You might be able to get someone to help you with that, though, if there's someone else in the general vicinity who does know more about computers.
Well, I'm gonna go for it. Is
All
there
right,
anybody
go for it.
that wants to try to help aid me to see if we can do this undetected?
I think, you know what? I think since you are linked into it through your waferjack, I will let you roll with Boon, which is essentially rolling with advantage. You roll instead 3d6,
Nice.
and then get rid of the lowest one.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go for this.
Do it.
So that's an 8 on the dice plus 4.
Brings you up to 12. That's it. That's what you needed. So you do manage to get into the highest security access files. And what you find is not exactly what you were looking for, but also does give you some ideas. There is no records anywhere of what was actually in the boxes that had the passengers that you now have down below. However, there is log of a message to Captain DaCosta from one General Bell Foyle. Apparently, the Triumph has been not commandeered, that's the wrong word, but being a civilian ship, it's not civilian, they are Imperium cargo, but it is civilians. So anyways, in order to transport some very sensitive material, is what they were told, they were going to be taking on some cargo that would be under the guise of Ammonite J in the ship manifest. Specifically because Ammonite J is a relatively cheap material, in spite of the fact that you do need, like, you need a plant in order to manufacture it, but it's not expensive to manufacture, and it's not exactly super safe to transport. So it was something that they thought would not be targeted by pirates, because it's a very unlikely target for pirates, except in the specific situation where they're trying to help out an agricultural union, as it seems.
You fools.
In any case, the captain doesn't seem to know any more than anyone else on the ship what's actually in the boxes, because it is classified information as per the Imperium military.
Okay. Can I tell if any of the Imperium military are still on the ship after they board?
Well, and that's the second part of it that suddenly starts to click into perspective. In case of emergency, they were assigned an escort of a destroyer vessel that has cloaking technology on it, essentially, just to prevent sensors from penetrating the hull. That would be captained by one of their agents, Jackson Hames. And he'd be handling security for the entirety of the procedure, just in case something went wrong.
Sergey, it sounds like a lot of these, the captain included, might not know who and what they're transporting. They are just under the assumption that it's something that is not Ammonite J, but they're not actually aware that they're transporting humans.
Could have been more leverage before the Shrike got here, but we'll keep it in the back pocket.
Did you get a good take on any of those boxes? If we did a distraction, could we get more of them open and get more of these unwilling passengers down into the secret hold?
Not without a loader. Hey, Webb.
Is that my nickname now?
For as long as you last. Where is the nearest loader from that cargo bay where we started cracking people out of their pods?
Right. So, just in the next room over, the one through the hallway, there are some loaders in there. Sections of the door that are around the door can open up to be larger to allow the loaders to go in and out in order to transport that material out to the shuttle, or any other flyers that come in. So they're right there, because it wouldn't make a lot of sense to put them somewhere else.
Fair enough.
Hero, you said that we might be able to do a little bit of grav control here.
Yeah, I think so.
It
certainly get people coming up here, though, pretty quickly to fix it.
Well,
this is a passenger liner, after all. It seems like they probably don't have them all in low passage, so they're going to get some complaints if we do that.
What if...
which I don't mind.
We might be able to set up some sort of timer that triggers, that turns off gravity, maybe shuts off the lights, and maybe we could use that to have half of us see if they can open up some of those boxes, while the other half of us takes Kadisa to the med bay.
Yeah, we could probably manage that.
What do you think about that, Sergey? Could you lead one of those teams?
Yeah. I think it's more a matter of picking the ideal moment to do it. We need everybody out of the room with the hatch. We need the crew is occupied otherwise. Maybe just as we're coming out of slip space?
Well, that's some days ahead of us, so we're going to be sitting in that smuggling hold for a while. But
I think it would be good if we could get all these individuals woken up before then, because it took them a while to get
Fair.
to get their bearings about them, and I'd really rather get everyone awake than see what we can do to arm them, and maybe see if we can't take control of the ship, quietly and as peacefully as possible. I have a feeling that the captain doesn't know exactly what she's transporting, and maybe if she did, she'd have a different sentiment about it.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Maybe we should try to talk to her then.
Let's
Although
wait.
it sounds like they're really clamping down on the comms channels from everything that Sergey said.
I think we need to get these individuals free first.
Yeah, and let's wait for maybe the trip to wear off on our pod people buddies.
Speaking of the trip going on the pod people buddies, Evan, you're having quite an experience down in the smuggling hold, because you've never had exact confirmation in the past. Like, you figured there was a connection, there should have been a connection, there were indicators, but this is a lot more clear. As the 4 individuals from the pods seem to be having the microdose setting in, they're having very different and interesting reactions to the drugs.
Fascinating.
Ramen, for one, seems to be now entirely aware that there are a couple of people above them. He even thinks that he's able to tap more directly into their thoughts now.
Oh.
Which he feels very uncomfortable about, and is giving him a minor existential crisis. Very minor, though. Just, he's very much trying to be respectful and not do that. Meanwhile, Kadiga seems to be focusing very hard and is capable of somehow moving some of the smaller boxes around her with her mind. But she seems to be straining very, very hard to do so.
Oh, wow.
Dio seems to have dropped into a meditative state of some kind, and you're initially not exactly sure what's happening with them, but as maybe you apply a medical scanner at some point, and you notice that there's very rapid and minute changes that are occurring just in her physicality entirely. Her lungs seem to at one point be capable of taking in a massive amount more oxygen. At one point, it seems like her cells begin regenerating at a faster pace. Like, it's very much throwing off the bioscanner, and you're not exactly sure what's happening on, except that it seems like her mental and body interactions are becoming much more synchronized. And then there is our poor friend, the accountant, who seems to be now crumpled in a corner, eyes very wide, not looking very relaxed at all.
Must be tax season.
Are you doing all right, my friend?
That's a very interesting question to ask. What is your definition of all right?
Are you feeling okay about your situation?
No, absolutely not. I believe that I am currently seeing different parts of the ship very clearly in my mind's eye. I didn't know that I had a mind's eye, and now I can't get it to close. So...
well, don't you worry. The effects of what I have just done to you will wear off in, let's see, should be about an hour. But...
Oh, an hour more of this. Well, I'll just have to get used to
So
this.
while...
now I'm hearing things as well.
Oh.
Amazing.
Well, so while you are going through this journey, I would like for you to tell me what your favorite song is, and then I would like for you to think about it. It should help you stay grounded as you go through this.
Well, there is a very old song from the Soul System. It's called Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and it is a very pleasant song,
Yes.
if you haven't heard it. It's by Bobby Darin, and I'm rather fond of it.
Well, I am not super accustomed to the ways of soul. However, I would like you in your mind only to think of that song.
Okay. I will think about a song.
And it should help you focus. In any case, I will be taking some notes. Yeah, so that seems very successful to me.
Do you have more of that? It's doing something, but it's not doing enough.
Who
This is Kadiga
Kadiga?
coming up to you. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I could double or triple your dose, but I don't know that it's responsible to go any further than that.
Who cares about responsible? We are stuck in a hostile environment with people that wanted to do who knows what to us.
Okay.
Maybe you're not concerned about that, but I think that if we take out all of them before they can do the same to us, not a bad idea.
I don't know that we should take all of them out, though, is the problem. You seem to be having some sort of hostile reaction here.
To being
You think
kidnapped.
I'm having the hostile reaction? They listen. These other idiots might not remember how they got here, but I remember pretty clearly. I remember being taken. I remember being transported. I remember my crew trying to come and save me, my family. And I remember them getting blown out into space. So,
Oh, my.
if I'm reacting hostily, maybe I've got a reason.
Well, once the effects of this dosage wear off, we will... I will give you 3 more doses that you could use at will.
If this thing really is what's restricting me, then we just need to get it off. Get this off, and I'll make short work of them. I promise you that.
Absolutely. If it's your own innate powers, then I have no feeling about it whatsoever. I just can't endorse, going out there and taking care of them with my science behind it.
What a weird moral stance to take, but fine. She kind of slumps back down to where she was and keeps trying to levitate objects in her general vicinity.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm just going to keep an eye on these guys, make sure they stay calm, and help them through it.
Kylan seems interested in what's happening, but more from the sense that she's kind of worried they're going to break stuff. And she seems to really want to go up to Kadiga and tell her to stop lifting the goods out of their positions, but she also seems to have the sense not to. Back up in the jump drive room, though, you guys are joined when one of the hatches plies itself open. Doll immediately jumps over. It's like, oh, hey, I've got everything under control up here. No one is up here at all. Oh, it's you guys. And steps back as Nika
Stockholm
returns.
syndrome. All right.
As Nika returns with another individual who... The image that I have in there is not the clothes that he's currently wearing, because he's still in his uniform. But this is Yafe Lang, as he introduces himself. He looks you all over.
We have heard
Sees
a
you.
lot about you.
Yeah. That's what Nika tells me, is that you're pretty much in on our entire operation at this point. So,
Yeah, physically, metaphorically, yeah, in general. It seems like we do kind of have a common goal at the moment, though. So let's see if we can make this work out for everybody.
It does sort of look that way. Nika's only really told me that the people that they're currently searching the ship high and low for ended up in our smuggling hold somehow. So I'm missing a lot of the details that he said he couldn't talk about. And even that was all in a bunch of very not at all suspicious innuendos. So maybe
Well,
let's head back down and chat about it a bit more.
yeah, let's have a jaunt. You can meet the others.
All right. You all head back down into the smuggling compartment. I'm not going to change the scene because there's no particular reason to.
I'll say
But
it for
yes,
just a moment, but I'll
yeah,
follow
Werner,
after
what
just a second later.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just finish up programming later.
You want me to stay up here? I can keep working on this while you talk to the new guy.
No, I'll let you guys talk it out, and then I'll let you know what I want to try.
Okay.
Webb, come on.
Yeah, coming. Yep. It's not long before you guys are all meeting back down in the smuggling hold. You have a brief moment of surprise when you look around to see the various states of the what you're fairly sure now to be 4 scions, but Kadiga is no longer lifting things into the air with her mind, so it's a lot less clear what's going on, other than they all seem to be very inwardly focused. And Connell seems to be mouthing the words to somewhere beyond the sea, very quietly to himself. Okay, so
Sergey, it works. The theory seems to work.
That's great, buddy. We'll put it on the fridge when we get home.
there's definitely more you than I thought.
Yeah, so these were cargo. You're not the only one smuggling.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Okay. So we all kind of know the situation here then, I think. I'm thinking mutual silence, considering that we're all in a bit of a bad way right now when it comes to secrets that we're keeping. Call it good from there. Sound good?
Might be a step more to this. You see,
Yeah, sure.
there's a lot more where these guys came from. Also, lady over there in the puffy suit, I think she's got a lot more she could show us if we could get it off. So we're looking at sort of a joint operation. Get back up into the hold, get as many other people out as we can, get her into the med bay, try to get that suit off.
Okay.
I can make a deal with you as well. If you do assist us, I can show you how to distill the plant to make it more potent, so that you could deliver more of it.
Well, that's appreciated. And I certainly won't say no to that. All that being said, there's some stuff about your ideas that may be within reach. Other stuff that's a little harder. The good news is, once you head down the hatches from up in Jump Drive, where we just were, it's just a sprint down the corridor to get to medical. So, that part's easy. Provided that no one is getting in our way or thinking that we're somebody else.
Well, we got a guy who seems to know where people are.
By one of these guys?
Yeah.
Yes, our friend over here.
Rahman still has his eyes closed and is... You're not sure what he's doing, but he's doing something.
He's vibing.
He is vibing.
He's a little busy at the moment, but
Yeah.
we have time to formulate this.
That helps. So far as everything else goes, all right, so there's passengers. There's more of these guys above us, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, do you have the kind of clearance you could just move one of those loaders into that room upstairs and leave it?
Yeah, I bet I could do that.
Yeah, we might not have to. We were thinking about screwing with the gravity so we could get at them just manual, but that'd.
That's ambitious, but guess you could.
I'd rather not.
I could probably get one of those loaders in there. Just
yeah.
Small issue. Ship's on pretty high alert right now. None of the passengers are totally pleased about this. They've all been sequestered in their rooms or over in the mess hall, in the case of the ones that were there, while places getting searched over. So that's a bit of a sticky situation as it is. Everyone on high alert like that. Could be that the best option is to get you guys some of the passenger suits and see if we can just give escorts in some way. We got Nika, so maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
Are the
at
passenger
least
suits
initially.
somewhat fashionable by chance?
Well, that kind of depends on your level of passage, but I'm going to go with no. They're not fashionable at all.
Oh,
But they will cover up pretty much everything that you're wearing without you having to take it off, so that's not so bad, right?
sure.
We can live with it. Fashion's
Okay.
a state of mind, my man. Just... All right.
Well,
yeah.
I do got to admit, you look a bit more like some of our executive passengers at the moment, but considering that your face isn't anywhere on the manifest, and they do know that they're looking for some people that fit your description, that might not go over so well if you're not wearing one of the jumpsuits.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't particularly love it, but it is what it is.
My apologies. Okay.
It's a start. It's less intrusive. I like it.
As for the rest of this business, well, might be that it's not the worst thing to get in contact with some of the folks on the bridge. I mean, I gotta say, I don't know the captain all that well, but I don't think she's the kind of person to be okay with this.
Yeah, this Shrike situation doesn't seem exactly amicable. Might be a little leverage we could exploit there.
Yeah.
You got any way of... Could we slip something to her? Any way to get like a secure or untraceable line on the comms? Something.
If you could get her in a room alone, I could probably have a chat with her.
Get her in a room alone. Well, she's got a lot of work on her plate right now. Mostly talking with that Hames guy, figuring out where you guys ran off to, but maybe it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll get you guys some, uniforms. See what happens.
All right. Subterfuge. We might come out of this with a ship after all.
So a little while later, Yafe has managed to secure some various clothing that you can wear. You do have a choice of dressing yourselves up as one of the middle passage passengers, which are the people that are not all the way in low passage in cryo sleep, but are awake and walking around in pretty ugly jumpsuits, for all that's worth.
I'll take that.
It's easier to be a passenger in some ways than it is to be a crewman, but fortunately, as you've seen from Doll's suit, all the crew stuff is also pretty hiding, especially if you do put on the helmet with it.
While they have been talking,
Yes,
can I
Vernon,
finish
yes.
programming? What I want to set up is a program where I can remotely trigger turning off the lights, and then maybe like screwing up the gravity, and maybe setting some sort of alarm remotely.
All right, so all of that stuff together it's going to take an electronics remote ops test.
Remote ops.
Fortunately,
Okay.
Hiroko does have that at level 1. It's one of the electronics things that she's actually decent at, but that is a lot of stuff to be working on. So it's probably going to be a 10 plus for your threshold that you're aiming at.
She's a flat +1?
Well, no, she has a 1 in the skill.
Okay.
If she assists you, she would probably give you a boon.
I think I would like to have her assist me.
Okay, then she will assist you and you can have a boon.
Okay. Not as good at remote ops, but we'll see. 3 5s, geez. So that is a 12 total.
Wow.
Very nice. Okay, that's an effective 2. So I think that with that, you guys are able to scrounge up enough pieces from around the room to make this this remote ops thing work, where you guys can trigger it via one of your own transceivers to essentially set off that entire chain of events that you were talking about.
Chaos mode.
Yeah, it's a chaos bomb, you know?
Yeah.
gonna be pretty fun.
So I will go ahead and return back to the rest of them after we get that done.
All right. So, is your plan to go directly to Medbay with Kadiga after setting off the chaos bomb? Do you want to do some reconnaissance around the ship in uniform first? Or, I guess, well, it's passenger uniform, so it does count. What's your thought?
Let's hold off on the bomb until things get real hairy, because I think we could
Okay.
accomplish a lot of these objectives without having to raise any more suspicion than we already have.
Sounds good.
As far as they know, we could have made it somehow off the ship at this point. So
It's possible.
that's at least a question in their mind. Whereas if we set off a chaos bomb,
there's a question in their mind right now of exactly where you're hiding. Probably they're thinking at this point, because it seems like they haven't found the hatch in the room yet, that you made it out of one of the doors, and either went out of an airlock and are just attached yourselves to the outside of the ship at some point, or that you're hiding in a room somewhere, or in some little bit of one of the rooms that they just haven't stumbled across yet. They might even be wondering if you got onto one of the escape pods and made it off the ship, because the ship does have those. So,
Ramen, how's your feeling about who's above us?
it seems to have gone down now to one person above us. And they seem very tired.
you might be able to put on one of the worker uniforms and go up there.
Me?
No, not you. Him.
Oh.
For a psychic, you're not very perceptive. Sorry,
Well,
we've been feeding on not very good food lately. I'm a little snippy. I apologize.
I think actually, if we have the worker out, well, let me ask Sergey real fast. Is it Sergey?
Webb? Who are you thinking of?
No, I was just I wanted to make sure I was getting your name.
Oh
right.
yeah, you're good.
Sergey, is this something that you would like to go ahead and take this guy out silently, or would you like me to?
Yeah, I think we could manage that.
I got some stunners, and we have the stun stick.
Yeah, but yeah, we can start with that. All right, go ahead and give me a stunner.
I'm actually gonna take the stun stick back and hand it to you.
Okay.
All right.
Ramen, I want you to follow us up and signal us if he seems to be becoming more alert.
Yeah. Hey, Webb, strip to your skivvies.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna pop that on just to give me a degree of plausible deniability here.
And I'll pop on one of the stack of worker outfits that was brought down.
Oh, right. Ah, you fool. Anyway.
I wasn't gonna question it. It's maybe you had a reason. I don't know. I don't want to get shot.
Sergey always has his reasons. You don't question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna all right. I'm gonna have us all go up the hatch, but before we get to the front, just using neural comm so I don't have to speak, I'm gonna say to him, look, if I make 2 taps on the deck with something metallic, that means you burst through. It's go time. Otherwise, we're gonna try to do this very, very smooth, very quiet. With any luck, you won't need to come out at all. I'll just pass you a unconscious person.
Dahl seems to be just quietly very uncertain about the unconscious person
You
thing.
go back down.
Like he's just like kind of on the side listening to this, being like, "Oh my god!"
In his underwear.
Yes, now in his underwear.
Okay, put on a uniform, whatever you want. You look ridiculous. Why did you let me do that to you? Have some self-respect.
You made the guy strip down. You don't have to berate him for it.
I think he's learned whatever cruel lesson you were trying to give him.
All right, let's do this.
While this operation is happening, Evan.
Yes.
Are you going to try to do some infiltration? Is that your plan, like, on this side of things, or?
Yeah. I I don't know that I really need to go up there. Although, I think when I go up there, I'm actually going to look at the rest of the cargo crates and start to see if there's anything I can do to prep them so that when we try and open them, they would be ready to go and we could do it faster.
Oh yeah, that's
There's
a steward
also
check,
trying to
actually. There is a
get-
skill for that. It's steward.
All right. I don't know.
We also need to get the loader in here that I think we forgot about.
We do.
Nah.
It's taken care of.
Yafe's handling that.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So
Sounds
no
good.
worries. Okay.
Yeah, so I would like to do that when we go up there. But
All
yeah.
right. So this is starting off with Sergey sneaking on up, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. You want to give me a stealth check?
You got it.
I don't know why I'm talking to Yafe now. It's just fun to do.
That is going to be a 9.
9, and this time it is an opposed check, so we'll see what the effect is
Ooh.
against this security officer. Well, not strictly a security officer. Oh, but he did not roll well. That's a 4 plus his... Yeah, no, he got a 4.
All right. So
So it's an effective 5, so yeah. I think you've got the sneaking down.
yep, I'm going to try to get right up behind him. Just bam, stun stick right to the side of the neck, right under the ear. Try to drop him in
All
one.
right. So first thing that you do notice as you're sneaking up on him, this guy is in armor. He's wearing a helmet.
Oh, well,
I will show you a picture. Also, doesn't necessarily look like
ship security.
standard ship security.
Oh.
No, looks like he might have come over from the Shrike.
Well, I tried to do this the easy way. I'm gonna
Like coming up.
I'm
you're
gonna belt
Hmm.
the stun stick, and we're
Okay.
whipping out the rifle.
Alrighty.
What's my?
He's unaware, so you're gonna make a gun combat test plus your dex.
All right.
Gun combat slug because oh no, your laser.
Yep.
Gun combat energy.
And what's my distance here?
You are definitely close enough. There's
Am I within 50
All-
meters? Because that's another.
yes. You are
Okay.
within 50 meters. Everything in this ship, like it feels not everything. If you were to shoot down some of the hallways, but you know.
All right. I'm gonna try to just drop
I
him in
can
one.
We're at
Set
close
up this.
range for everything.
Yep.
Pretty much. I can then probably set up the scene actually, which is what I should have done.
Crap, I
So
shouldn't have
we'll-
sent him up first.
He is one to shoot not first but second, and that's not the best option.
Sergey, you are about here, and this fella, this good fella, is standing here.
Okay. Yep. That'll do it. All right. Let's get this out of the way. That's what I like to see. That's gonna be a 15.
Okay,
Oh,
so
cow.
that's great. So, since you have hit, the effect of an attack roll is always applied to the damage of the weapon, and it's not destructive, so that doesn't matter. I believe that the effect is usually it is opposed, but he didn't know you were there. So
Well, the
So
effect would be
Equivalent to a sneak attack
plus
bonus.
his armor, right?
um
I don't know.
I don't know.
I believe armor is a flat reduction of damage, if I'm not massively mistaken. I could be.
Well, I could be. Don't ask me.
It's up to you, ref.
Yeah.
All right.
um,
So we're looking at 5d6 plus 3.
yep.
All right. All right. Let's see. 19 plus one more. 23, 26.
26. So, the laser with a sharp gack sound
Oh.
sprays from the rifle. This is a sniper rifle, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Like blank shot with the sniper rifle. Oh my word. Okay. So he is wearing armor, and you said it was how much?
23. Or 26. Sorry, 23.
6.
Yeah.
Wow, that's still a lot. Let's see. That is definitely going to at least knock him flat for right now. He is very badly damaged from that. Let's see if he is able to not fall unconscious with an endurance test, because that was quite a bit of his help there. No, he does not, because his endurance is down. Yeah, so he is going to fall unconscious
All right.
from that.
I'm going to do a double wrap on the deck to signal my guys, and I'm going to run up, try to strip his helmet, and give him a tase to put him down a little longer.
Oh, God.
Ramen, did anyone hear that? I assume we all heard this rifle.
You heard the gack of the rifle for sure.
Oh.
Um,
Is a laser sniper rifle quieter than like a slug thrower? What's the story there?
It is. So it is just the sound of energy. I admit, in my head, what I'm imagining are the rifles from 40K that do this, the las rifles. Maybe I shouldn't be. But Ramen says, yes, people did hear that. We should hurry. We should get him down here or get back up there. What do we do?
All right, I'm just dragging him back towards the hatch fast as I can, cramming him in. Come on.
You can hear the sounds of boots coming along.
Does he have a comm on him at all?
He does have a comm on him.
Can I trigger the chaos bomb?
I think a little premature.
You can.
A little premature, yeah.
You can.
Well, I mean,
he does have
our
his full
first
suit of
thing is
armor,
about getting all these people in.
He does have. He's got most of his stuff is in his suit of armor,
Yeah.
which you could put on for yourself potentially.
If
you had the distraction time.
would his
bomb.
comms be in his helmet? Is that something I
Yes.
would know? Can I just put on his helmet?
You can absolutely put on his helmet. Yeah.
Hello. Everything is fine.
Oh my God, we're gonna die.
All good.
You want to give me a deception test?
Yeah.
With Bane.
Well, how do I do Bane?
It's
it's disadvantage.
it's one dice.
You take out the
disadvantage.
highest, unfortunately.
Okay, so it's
roll 3 dice and take the
take
2
out the
lower.
highest. Okay. Okay, so that is
And
8, 9. Wait,
9?
is deception with something else with social?
It'd probably be with social.
it's
So that's a 10.
Wow. How did you?
I rolled
Oh my God.
a 5, a 3, and a 6, and then I have 1 deception, and then I have 1 social. So
Harris, we heard what we thought sounded like laser fire from the hold.
Misfire.
yeah, I misfired my gun. I apologize. That is very unprofessional of me. Sorry, sir.
You're telling me you misfired?
Yeah.
If I had the time to deal with you right now, Harris.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm really tired. It's been a long day.
It has, and your record is largely exemplary. I'll let you off the hook for this one, but be careful. We don't need to be alerting them to where exactly we are at any given time. Understand?
Thank you very much, sir. You never know if you'll ever see me again. I might be dead. Die. Thank you so much for giving me this last little...
Stop talking.
Are you sure you're all right, Harris?
Yeah, I'm just having being tired, it gets to you. Anyway, sir, I really appreciate you checking in on me, and nothing will happen again.
All right, listen. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with you right now, but considering that 4 of those pods are open, there's a chance that some of our escapees are messing with you a little bit. I want you to report to Medbay. I'll be sending a replacement for you.
Sir, yes, sir. I need to finish up. I just started to do my rounds here. I need to finish.
That's an order, Harris.
Yes, sir.
Get in the suit. Go to medbay.
All right. Okay. I guess I'm getting in the suit.
Why are you getting in the suit?
Wait. Yeah, what?
Werner, get in the suit.
Why am I getting?
Get in the suit.
All right, as I'm getting into the suit, I'm like, I have no idea why I'm the one getting in the. You know what? Whatever.
Just get in this. You're gonna go to medbay.
I'm going to medbay.
Kylan. Kylan is
Yeah?
the guy that can.
What? No, that's. Do you want Nika?
Yeah,
Or do
sorry,
you want me?
Nika. Nika,
Yeah.
I want you to go to the medbay with Kadisa in a passenger outfit.
All right, I can.
Do we have?
You're gonna meet
Yeah, I can make that
Evan
work.
at the medbay. The three of you.
All right. Yeah, sounds
Nika,
good.
do you have restraints on you by chance, just in case?
Yeah, man.
All right. If everything goes bad, you put restraints on her, and we say that we found her on our way back, and that we are taking her to the brig.
She's
No way. You're gotta be kidding me. Fine, I get it. Fine.
I promise you, this is not a ploy. I'm sorry. It's just the best way to handle
let's
this.
just get it done. Get up there before your replacement shows up and finds you coming out of the secret smuggling hold.
Yes. Let's go.
All right.
I'm gonna come up, I guess.
You come up, and you're getting it shut just as the another one of these officers comes around the corner.
Is there any way Sergey could have hidden?
Oh, I figure as soon as I got that.
I think he went back
guy
down.
down,
went
yeah,
back.
I'm back in the smuggler's hold, binding
All right.
up our unconscious and heavily wounded guard.
They woke me up from my break for this, so go to med bay. Hope you're okay.
Thank you. I appreciate you covering for me.
You're welcome. It must be out of it if you're thanking me for things. Go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
You start heading towards medbay. Meanwhile, another group is headed around from the other side. You remain uncertain of exactly how to solve your situation here aboard the Triumph. But as the pieces are starting to come together, you have to maintain hope that there will be a way. Because where there's a will, there is still a chaos bomb up in the FTL.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to end it for today, guys. And we will be back 2 Sundays from now with the conclusion to In the Shadow of Triumph.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you again to Mongoose for your support and sending us the materials for this wonderful system in this wonderful world. And thank you to all of you who are watching today, and all of you watching in the future as well. I'm not going to miss out on you guys. Do we have any more announcements, Ian, that we want people to remember?
I love you.
Join Discord, join Patreon. Yes.
Alex loves you.
Alex loves
I
you.
think that's the important part.
Yeah, that's a very important.
Yeah.
We have a Discord, we have a Patreon, and some of the other things that we mentioned. So I think we covered it in our last 2 chats. So I think that's it. Thank you all for joining.
Thanks, team.
Bye.
See you
Next
soon.
time.
Bye.